Yo. Going live. I don't know if I have any viewers. I didn't tell anybody about this. Maybe I should have done that. How is it going? How's it going? So the plan, I don't know if anybody's seen my previous live. I ripped an entire pack of Spider-Man booster packs, or I ripped an entire box of Spider-Man booster packs. It was for science. It wasn't because I have an addiction that is fermenting under the surface. I wanted to see, because these are heavily discounted right now. Magic the Gathering Spider-Man set stuff, like when I bought the first pack, they were $120, which is about as cheap as I've ever seen a Universes Beyond. This was $99 at Micro Center. So this has to be worth it. The other box I bought it for $120. It ended up being about, when I scanned everything, about $97 worth. It is now less than that now. This one I bought for $99. And because Micro Center has some sick deals where if you bought something within a month and the price goes down, you can come back and get money back. I actually, technically this box, not $99. It is $79. So this has to be worth it now. This has to be worth it. Last time I ripped one, it was worth about $99.70. I think it's gone down like to 80 something bucks because everything Spider-Man is decreasing in cost. But this has to. It's almost mathematically impossible for this to be worth less, right? So we're gonna try and rip it. I got both of these were, so I got two of them. Both of these are 99 bucks. And then the amazing Amazing Spider-Man like gift bundle ones, these were like $55. So incredibly cheap. We're gonna rip this one too at the end. I also have some Universe Beyond stuff if we want to get it, like get nasty with it. But yeah, we're gonna rip this and we're gonna see if this set is worth it. I think there is a certain mathematical point where if these get cheap enough, just by bulk value, you will get your money's worth. And that's the experiment that we're doing right now. And I call it very loosely an experiment. It's more an experiment in tax evasion because I am going to be writing this off on my taxes. This is officially work. I'm streaming this right now. That's what tax write-offs are for, right? So fresh, just ripped it. Wait. Ooh. All these fresh packs. My biggest thing and my biggest qualm the last time I ripped these, there were so many duplicates. If you have not ripped a lot of these Spider-Man packs, which statistically speaking, from Wizard of the Coast metrics, not many of you have. This is not a hot set. People are not clamoring for this like they were for Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy was a blowout set. I think they really thought they had a winner in Spider-Man. The problem with these Spider-Man decks or these cards, you just get so many duplicates. The full set of cards is very small. I think it's one of the smaller ones that they've done recently. So you end up getting a lot of repeats, and not in like a good way, not repeat high value cards. To double check, I'm not getting no messages from anybody. How is it going, everybody? We're just doing some science right now. And by science, I mean ripping packs and pretending like we're going to find value here and see if we can find value. All right, we got our first pack here. And I remember some of the high value cards from last time. Midnight Tavern, hello, how's it going? I'm also going to go to PAX. If y'all got PAX questions, if you want to talk about Dungeons and Dragons stuff, really anything at all, you just want to pipe in, say hello. I just need to do this on camera because it'll be a tax write-off. And IRS, I'm not joking. Like, I'm not joking. This is an event. This is a thing that I'm doing for entertainment purposes. I am an entertainer. That means I can write this off on my taxes. If you're a tax professional, please don't at me. All right. So I don't know like a good way to show these cards. I don't have the nice setup that everybody has where it's like a face down camera. It's too expensive. But what we got Venom Unleashed. We got Web Up. Mysterio's Phantasm, Stegron the Dinosaur Man, Kapow, Spectacular Tactics, Spider Manifestation. I actually really like Spider Manifestation. It's a little tap guy. You can tap it for a little mana. But if you cast a spell over for untap, so you can get a little, get a little crazy with it. Let's see what else do I got here. Spider-Man No More, Sun Spider, Nimble Webber, Pictures of Spider-Man, School Days, Lizard's Connor's Curse. And then I got a Common Crook and an Ominous Asylum. Not looking good so far. That was not a rich pack. The one thing I've noticed too is that I've ripped quite a few Final Fantasy packs, and like there's not that many disappointing Final Fantasy packs, just because maybe that could also just be the fact that I really like Final Fantasy stuff. But I've found that most of their packs, like not every pack, but like every other pack, has a cool art card or a cool full art card that you normally wouldn't have. There's at least something interesting in every pack that makes you like, maybe that next one. And I've had some heavy packs from Final Fantasy where it's like 3 or 4 like really cool cards that I want to add to my decks or want to do other stuff with. And I just haven't gotten that from Spider-Man so much. I think in a pack of 30, I got like one where I was like, ooh, this is a heavy pack. So we'll see. The worst case, I'm just going to have so much bulk, I'll have to put together a Spider-Man deck. All right. This card is maybe the most populous card I've ever seen in a set. This would be like my 8th or 9th. What is this? Starling Aerial Ally. This thing is all over. And sometimes it comes 2 to a pack. Ridiculous, redonkulous. So we got that guy. We got Doc Ock's Henchman, Steel Wrecking Ball, Grow Extra Arms, Risky Research, Skyward Spider, Vibrant Cityscape. I actually really like Vibrant Cityscape because I just started it's the World Shaper Precon. I've been like augmenting it a bunch, and having more tap lands, well, not tap lands, but sack lands is electric. Like you want a billion of them in there. So this is actually good. Daily Bugle Building, which is not a half bad land. Heroes Hangout, Robotics Mastery, Wisecrack, Hydro Man, Fluid Felon. I don't know about that one. This is the first time I've seen this card. We're going to set it aside. Mysterio's Phantasm, Forest Spider. I don't know if I'll set that one aside. I don't know if any of these other ones. I'm gonna have to go back through with like Mana Box and actually scan everything. We're gonna set a couple of things aside. We'll check those maybe when we take a break to see if there's any value here. Thank you all for the likes, everyone. I really appreciate that. Those of you on YouTube, I'm also streaming on TikTok. If you hold up to the camera with right hand, tilt the other side back, the glare is hard on your right. I feel you. All right, we got, I don't know. The problem is like when I present it to the camera, I don't have a fancy setup that I need. So I got Passenger Ferry because I can't see the card as I present it. So we got Passenger Ferry. This is pretty common. I've seen this a bunch in this card. The problem is that it just does not want to focus on the card itself. We got Electro Bolt, Spider Rex, which is actually a pretty cool card. I like it because it's just, who doesn't like a little Spidey man, little Spidey dino. Sorry, it's like terrible focus on this webcam. Common Crook, very common indeed. I have like 8 of them. Selfless Police Captain, Masked Meower, Mechanical Mobster. We've got Wraith, Vicious Vigilante. I don't believe I've seen this one yet. This is, and that's saying something for ripping so many as I have. So we'll set that one aside. It's probably not worth much. We got Damage Control Crew, Chameleon Master of Disguise. Chameleon Master of Disguise is a cool card. This is, I've seen this pointed out to be, I hate that it's not showing up on the webcam. It's cool. Like it creates a copy. So you may have Chameleon enter as a copy of a creature you control, except his name is Chameleon Master of Disguise. It's just like a sick card for it to make a copy. This will be my second one. It's pretty solid. I don't think it's like super rare. All right, we got Damage Control True. Now here's the big boy. Second pack, we pulled a Soul Stone, baby. That's a Soul Stone. This, honestly, it's now incredibly hard for this deck not to be profitable. Not this deck, this box. Because I believe the Soul Stone is going for like $40 to $50 right now. This is not like a cool special Soul Stone. But it is a Soul Stone We're already that's almost profit, baby. This like because of the money I got back, this thing is only about 79.99 with taxes. We might be at what, like 83. That card is 40 something dollars right now. Easy money. Um oh, and Superior Spider-Man is worth a little bit of money. He's not like a super rare card, but he is worth a little bit of money. And then we got a foil Romantic Rendezvous. Uvu, uvu. But these are worth a little something. The rest, and we got a full. We got a full land. It's not. That's not nothing. All right, keep on rolling. Keep on rolling. Am I missing any comments? I'm just so excited. I pulled that card. I got so excited. We've already pulled Soulstone. Honestly, we could trash the rest of these cards. I mean, we just have to make, instead of having to make like $100 here, we have to make like another 40, and then we have very much hit pay dirt. Statistically, I'll be in the profit. We got a Thwip. I'm just gonna like scroll through these basic cards. Thwip, Amazing Acrobatics, Spider Gwen. I have so many freaking Spider Gwens. They are lousy in these packs. Like, they're not a bad card necessarily. They're not like a great card either. They're just everywhere in this pack, all over the place. I got them in like a quarter of the total packs I pulled in the last box, I believe, which is a lot. We got Guy in a Chair. We've got Venom's Hunger, Eerie Gravestone. All right, now we're getting into the cool stuff. We've got Spider Islanders, which is nothing. Hot Dog Cart. We have Craven Proud Predator. This is a first-time pull for me. I don't know what its value is. I'm so sorry for the webcam people. We're going to set that aside. We also have Spider Slayer, Hatred Honed. I don't believe this one is a particularly rare card. I don't think it's worth that much. Then we have Spider-Man India. Now, the funny part is that the first time I pulled this, it was Spider-Man India and then like Spider-Man UK, which is just kind of a funny combo. And then we got a Mary Jane Watson. We're going to set these aside because they might be worth something. And we have a Mary Jane Mary Jane Watson first time pull of MJ. Whenever a spider you control enters, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. Honestly, not that strong unless you're playing. I mean, I guess if you're playing old Spider-Man deck. We got Unstable Experiment as the foil. Nothing. That's, I don't believe that's worth much. And we have a Sinister Hideout foil. Ain't bad. Oh, I'm gonna thank you for the roses. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a tap land. Comes in taps. You can use it for blue or black, and then you can also surveil. But we'll set it aside. Could be worth something. The rest of these, not worth much at all. Thank you so much for the roses. I really appreciate that. All right, let's move it on. We'll rip some more. We're ripping and sticking. We already got the Soulstone, baby. That's game right there. That's game. There's no way that we could lose now. And look, I say that now. Watch every single one of these cards be worth like 6 cents. So we got. I'm gonna scroll through these comments. We got Web Up, Mysterio's Phantom, Angry Rabble, Craven's Cat, Swarm Being of Bees, the Whip, Pumpkin Bombardment, Spiderbot. All right, here we're getting to the meat and potatoes. We got a Superior Foe of Spider-Man. I believe this is like 50 cents, something like that. Could be a little bit more. We're gonna set that aside. We got a Sudden Strike. Not a bad card. Not worth much, I don't believe. We got a Scarlet Spider Cane, which I don't think is worth a ton. I'm thinking like 20 cents, something like that. Then we have Spinneret and Spider Ling, which, oh yeah, I guess this is the nicest card of the, which not worth much. I already have this one. No new pulls in this, although we do get a foil Tombstone Career Criminal, who's also not worth very much. And then we have a University Campus and a token. Set those aside. Keep ripping and sticking here. Let's go. I mean, because the sooner we get through these, the sooner we get to these. There's only one collector in here, like one collector one, so it's not going to be wild and crazy or anything like that. I have a request for a D&D story. It requires a Gambit. It requires Gambit. Can you make it happen, please? Yeah. What is your request? Oh, like a request for me to do, like for a skit, or do you have a story about Gambit that you want me to like read? Yeah, I'm not sure. You had to let me know. Let me know what it is. Um, if it is like something you want me to read, if you go to my bio, there will be a not a link tree, it's a beacons, and I have my email is on there. You can send it to my email, and I can try and read it up. Probably not this evening, not necessarily, unless things slow down a bit. But I might be able to do a story, like a video about it later. So we got Spider-Man, Brooklyn Visionary, worth basically nothing. Got Inner Demons Gangsters, worth nothing. Selfless Police Captain, Unstable Experiment, Romantic Rendezvous, Mechanical Mobster, Gallant Citizen. Now we're getting the good ones. Alien Symbiosis. Not bad art. Got Shriek Troublemaker. I think this one's got a little money to it. I can't remember. I wish I had kept the list. Costume Closet. I like the art for this one. I don't believe it is worth much. I have one of these already. And then we have Agent Venom. Unsure about the cost of this card, but it is dope art. I like that. I'm going to set those aside. Oh, and then we got a Silk Web Weaver. First time pull for Silk. Could be good. Could be worth. Could pay off the mortgage this evening with that card. Who knows? And we got Scout the City foil. Nothing to call home about. A forest and a token. We're streaming. We're just going along. All right. I mean, can you get Gambit involved in a story, making him sacrifice some stuff in front of a sentinel? Sure. What do you mean by like? Oh, he has like. Be if you have a specific vision for this, please do not hold back. I mean, can you get Gambit involved in a story? Yes, there's more. I see Snars. This was even cheaper. Last time was $120. This time, oh, you're talking about Gambit. Yeah, no, like we'll see. I have to flush out this plan. So you get Gambit involved in a story, making him sacrifice some stuff in front of a sentinel. I think I get what you're saying. I'm not killing him. I'm just killing one multiversal version of him or something like that. We have a Wild Pack Squad. Like I said, I'm going to scroll through these commons. Unstable Experiment, Taxi Driver, Subway Train, Merciless Enforcers, Lurking Lizards, Mob Lookout. We've got Wraith, Vicious Vigilante. Second pull so far. We've already pulled this card. Like I said, deck is, or not the deck, but this box is probably going to be heavy. We got Scorpion, Seething Striker. Don't believe he is worth much. We got a Damage Control Crew. Not worth much. Gonna have many of these. Villainous Wrath. I don't believe I have pulled this one yet. It's an instant. I do not remember the art for this. Then we have Maximum Carnage. What is this? This is a saga. Also not seen this one yet. So I'll keep those aside. We got a Pumpkin Bombardment foil. Nothing wild here. Nothing wild. Suburban Sanctuary and a just another token. I did get something good. Second pack. I see. I sneeze stars. I got the chase card of it all. Not like the best version chase card, but I got the Soulstone. We pulled Soulstone like second pack, which honestly is going to make it really hard not to make money with this. Like we're already like probably I would say we're getting close to the green, well, I guess technically financial terms we're almost in the black. But we're gonna keep on ripping. We're gonna rip it, stick it. Ask if anybody has any Dungeons and Dragons questions. We'll answer those as I go through these. Selfless Police Captain. I think this is the third time. We're probably on our fifth or sixth deck. This is the third time I have pulled Selfless Police Captain. I feel like in some of these boxes, there's like clusters of cards that appear up to 8 times, which is wild. And you wonder why people weren't so happy about grabbing these boxes and ripping them. When you get this many repeats, it's a tough thing to swallow, especially when they're not worth much. We're talking about like they do not do anything particularly interesting, and they are not particularly worthwhile of your time. It's like the worst form of bulk. Romantic Rendezvous, Professional Wrestler, Scorpion Sting, Eerie Gravestone. We got a Vibrant Cityscape. For our not so commons, we got Web Shooters. First time pulling this one. Yeah, that's my problem. There's just so many repeats. We got Hobgoblin Mantled Marauder. It wouldn't be so bad, but the problem with the repeating the thing is I don't believe the rares and like the mythics and the uncommons, I don't believe there's a big enough pool of them so that like you're not getting the same all the time for those. That's the problem. When you get the same like mythic that you really don't want multiple times, it feels very much like a waste. You at least want to see something different so you can experience the art or see like, hey, maybe that triggers an idea in you. It's like I can form a deck around that, or that's a really cool concept that I can capitalize on. Doesn't happen that much in this one. So I got Hobgoblin Mantled Marauder. This one is new. I have yet to see this. So we're going to set that aside in the Check'em deck. Ooh, we do have a full art card here. Rhino. This isn't the full one, but it's the next one. We got Rhino's Rampage. I don't believe I've seen this one either. So this one's new. I don't know why I'm showing it to the webcam still. Y'all can't see nothing. This one is new. I'm going to check that one. And this is a full art Spider Noir, which honestly, sick. See, opening a pack like this, even though I've grabbed all of the cards that were in it before, that makes me happy that I have a card that I might have, but I don't have a full art version of it. That's sick. Yeah, like that's what makes it worth it. And then we have a Doc Ock's Tentacles, which I already have. Bit of a bummer. And then a Spider-Man foil Brooklyn Visionary, which I don't have the foil version, but I do have the regular cards. So we're going to set those aside. When we have a full swamp land, which isn't bad. I mean, honestly, we have Soulstone. I should just hang up. I should hang it up now. We're so good. We're so good. All right, we got. I'm gonna go through these comments. Swarm, Starling, Doc Ock's Henchman, Steel Wrecking Ball, Grow Extra Arms. All of these have been in multiple packs so far. Skyward Spider, I think this might be the first time I'm seeing it. We have Lurking Lizards, which is not the first time we've seen it. Mob Lookout, maybe the first time. We have an Aunt May. First time pulling the Aunt May so far. I have pulled Aunt May previously. So we got Aunt May. I don't believe Aunt May is worth much. Spider Bite, Web Warden, not a bad pull. I don't think particularly worth like a ton of money or anything like that, but kind of cool. And then we have Rhino Barreling Brute. Look at that. The one thing I've noticed in this as opposed to the Final Fantasy as well, there's just not that many full art cards. The amount of full art cards in here is so small. I think I've gotten multiple full art cards doing the Final Fantasy ones. So it was like fun. It was like cool to get some of that cool art. And then we have a J. Jonah Jameson. Pulled him not several times so far, but several times already. We have a Sudden Strike, a Plains, and a Robot Token. Moving right along. If we can get another Soulstone, he's sick. The only thing is, I just don't like in these play boosters. I don't know why they are different from the Final Fantasy ones. In that, I don't feel like you get so many. Like, I feel like if you want the really cool Soul Stones, you have to do collector boosters, which is a bit of a buzzkill. I don't know how like the distribution of that, but I feel like there's just not that many of like the really cool cards in these play boosters. We got a Starling. We got multiples of them already. Doc Ock's Henchman, multiples of that already. Steel Wrecking Ball, multiples of that already. This initial 4, I have seen twice. This is the second time I've seen this starting pull from these packs. Wild. And like, you wonder why these things are actually being sold like $30 under MSRP now. Because they're not rewarding to pull. But are they financially worth it? That's the real question that we're going to try to answer today. We got a Risky Research, a City Pigeon, Spider Islanders, Lurking Lizards. We got another Tombstone. We got Madame Web, terrible movie, interesting card. So You may look at the top of your library anytime. You may cast spider spells and non-creature spells from the top of your library. Whenever you attack, you may mill a card. Ooh, dropped it. This lost probably some amount of value. We got Spider-Girl Legacy Hero. First time pulling that one as well. Don't know what it's worth. And then we have the Spot Living Portal, which I believe is a pretty decent pull. I think it's worth some amount of money. I don't know how much. I think the art card of it is worth more. And we have Mechanical Mobster University and a token. We're cracking these. We're cracking right along. Yeah, the Spot one is cool. These are also really nice to open. These are very easy to open. It's almost like they want to be cracked. We got Thwit, Amazing Acrobatics, Spider-Gwen, second time seeing Spider-Gwen, Guy in the Chair, third time seeing Guy in a Chair, Oscorp Research Team, don't believe I've seen them yet, Spectacular Tactics, Spider-Bot, getting on to the uncommons now, Sudden Strike, third time we've seen this uncommon, Ezekiel Sims, Spider Totem, first time seeing this so far. Sorry, webcam people. It just doesn't look good. Always have trouble trying to figure out challenge rating. I play 5e and Pathfinder 2.0. Do you have recommendations on how to balance or learn to balance combat? I want to challenge for my players. For a long time, I believe the site was used, like I'll use Kobold, Kobold Rodeo, something like that, to balance my encounters. Basically just get an additional idea. Balance is an illusion. My biggest thing to teach new dungeon masters, balance is a perception by the players and by yourself. There is no true balance. Kobold Fight Club, yeah, that's what it is. Thank you for that. There's no true balance because I have played, because it really depends on how you play, how your players play, and how the rolls go down. You are balancing. It is not a thing that happens before you fight. It is happening the entirety of the time you are in combat. Because I have played games where just junk monsters, something like Kobold, Goblin, or whatever, just encounter to get something done. I will throw them at the party. They'll either and they'll get they'll get their butts handed to them randomly, just that they're not rolling well. I'm rolling really well. Bad things happen. And then other times I will set up more goblins in a more tactical fashion where I'm giving them cover. I'm giving them opportunities to do extra damage. I am giving them, emplacements and cover and all this other stuff. And then in the same breath, I roll bad and then they roll great. So combat is an illusion that you create, or not combat, but balance of combat is an illusion that you create. And one thing that I also tell people, it's okay for combat to be easy sometimes. I think especially when you watch things like Critical Role, when you watch I think less so Dimension 20, because they really trim down the fights to where they're really manageable and bite-sized. Critical Role, though, when I was watching Critical Role, sometimes the fight would be the entire episode. And I feel like that is ingrained in certain people's head that this combat has to take forever. It needs to be 2 hours. There's nothing wrong with an incidental, oops, they stomped this encounter really well. Because one, it's really rewarding for your players. They feel like they did a great job, which is really important for your character, for your players, to feel like they're power fantasy of it all. They want to feel like they're having fun. They want to enjoy stomping something and being able to low drawback for doing something really fun. So remember that. And also, it's kind of up to you if you feel like it's just been too many times where the balance of the combat is not in your favor or is in your favor. That is something you can dial as things go on. So some things you can do for that is your monsters do not need to fight to the last man. That's something that people do often. It tends to draw out combat. It tends to make it feel more difficult. Is when you got 20 goblins, every single goblin fights until every single goblin is dead. So it takes forever. And also, it does feel more difficult because your players are having to expend more resources. They're taking more damage. If you feel like you're kind of stomping on your characters, you felt the balance kind of switch where it's they're gonna win eventually. but you are draining them of resources that are going to set them up for less fun in the next, or not less fun, but just less to be less powerful in the next combat. I usually have a rule: once half of the monsters die, or an impressive amount of damage is dealt, I will behind the scenes roll a check to see if these people want to stay anymore. Like fleeing is always an option, especially when you're dealing with intelligent creatures. They don't like the idea of dying, and they're gonna, if this thing is really above their pay grade, they're gonna want to get out of here, get reinforcements, warn people, that sort of thing. And then your combat becomes a chase, which completely changes the tempo of what you're doing, makes it a lot more exciting. And that's like, and on the reverse side, if it is really boring, and like it's gonna be just they're just stomping your monsters, and it's gonna be over really quick, you can have reinforcements come in. You can be you or you can have them say, hey, we're gonna they start switching up tactics. If you're goblins that you're just throwing at your players, and you're like just randomly in a forest or just getting their butts kicked, now they're starting to take cover after their action. There's things that you can do to tweak it on the fly that become really important to balancing encounters. So it's a multifaceted question. First, you have to really sort of like recap everything. It's okay for things to be unbalanced. It is okay for your players to wipe out your monsters really easily. That's fine. You need to accept that. It is also kind of fun for them to do that. So if that's happening, you don't need to modify as much. That being said, if you do want to balance some of these encounters to make them more fun, that is something you can do on the fly as build in opportunities in the story or in the encounter where you can give them some cover if they need it. If they're like, think about it in the terms of a lot of like battles in history. Like when things aren't looking good for one side, they're going to start taking cover. They're going to start thinking about it a bit more. The ones that aren't dead are probably the smarter ones that would take cover. So they become harder to kill. So, they're taking cover, they're being more precise with the shots, they're focusing on one adversary at a time, that sort of thing. And then on the reverse, if they are stomping your players really hard, um, maybe other factors can come into play. You can you can have some reinforcements on your player side. You can point out opportunities for them to do cool things. Like, oh, this tree is almost fallen over. If you were to, instead of attacking a goblin this turn, you were to like push it, maybe this thing would roll downhill and take out a couple of them. There's things that you can do to tweak it on the fly. So balance is not a thing that happens before combat. It happens during combat. Remember that. So that's my. I hope that helps. We got some other more comments here. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Morale check should still be a thing for sure. Yes, I 100% agree. I always thought of trying a reverse D&D game where they play as the monsters. I've done that a lot. It's really fun. Playing as a monster is never not fun. Hale, have you put a lot of effort into putting a side story together for a player only to have it fall on little to no excitement from that player? Yeah, yeah, it happens. People get really excited. Um, People get really excited about stuff in the moment, and then other things happen during the campaign that draw their attention, and sometimes it just does fall flat. They're not prepared for it. They really like the idea, but when it's actually that ball is given to them, it doesn't go anywhere. They don't know what to do with the ball. They just kind of let it fall to the ground. Best thing you can do is kind of talk to them after the fact, and see what they want to do with that, if they want to play with that anymore or anything like that. All right, so we do have a paid comment: switching up tactics. Tucker's Kobolds is an excellent example of this, but that is if you want your players to exactly. I've used for those of you that are unaware with Tucker's Kobolds, it's from a story, I believe, from Dragon Magazine. Robin, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was basically this guy was reiterating a story that he had, basically playing with some of his friends, where the DM had this version of kobold that he had never seen before, which was they were really smart, they were really tricky, they were very tactical, and like the party came into this dungeon thing is, oh, it's a bunch of kobolds. Who gets, like, we're gonna stomp these guys. And then every single time they would get their ass kicked every time they try to go inside this dungeon, because they had set up traps, they had emplacements, they were really smart with how they would kill some of them, but they would always like down a player and then they'd have to rush them out to try and get them revived. So it was a really cool way to take what most people consider to be a somewhat boring low value monster and make them a serious threat that your players remember. So much so that they are famous in the D&D circles. I've done that Tucker's Kobold. So when there was a Tomb of Annihilation campaign that I ran that you can interact with some kobolds. There's like this dragon's corpse that they've kind of taken over, and they're hoarding some small little bits of treasure and stuff like that. They worship the corpse and stuff. And they're surrounded by this like fence, effectively like a barricade of brambles that if you are not smaller is not just difficult terrain, is basically you can only move 5 feet through it at every turn or something like that. It's like, I think it's difficult terrain, but also you're taking damage. But because they are small, they can just weave through this stuff. And basically, once they are a certain amount of distance through it, you can't see them anymore. So they can't be practical targets for ranged attacks. So I lit my players up. They thought it was going to be so easy. I played Tucker's Kobolds on them, and it stays with them. That scared the shit out of them to the point where my normally murder hoborous players were like, we need to negotiate with these guys. So we need to figure out how to like back off, because they didn't kill a single one. But they were getting their asses kicked to them, or handed to them. So yeah, it's a really cool thing. Love Tucker's Kobolds. But yeah, if anybody else got some questions, I'm gonna roll through these cards. Thwip, Amazing Acrobatics, Spider Gwen, Guy in the Chair, Oscorp, Spectacular Tactics, Spiderbot, Sunstrike, Spidermobile. So we got a Spidermobile. I think I have one of these. It's not particularly valuable, but it is cool. And we got a full art card, Silk Guard. For those of you just coming in, that's not hollow, is it? No, just a Silk Guard. That one, I don't know if it's worth anything, but it is cool. Set that aside. We've already got the chase card, y'all. We have the Soul Stone. We don't have the cool Soul Stone, but we do have a Soul Stone. So that's like $50. And then we have another J. Jonah Jameson, which is kind of surprising that we already have another J. Jonah Jameson, considering he is, I can't remember if he's an uncommon or he is the rare. We have a Living Brain Mechanical Marvel foil, not worth much. And then we have a University Campus and a robot token. So we're rolling along here. We are rolling along here. We're making money. Yeah, like when it comes to difficulty in a D&D game, it's an illusion. Such a fucking illusion. Sorry, I'm cursing. Such an illusion. And that's something you really need to modify on the fly. And also like tactics. I believe I can't remember who was talking about it, but like if you play even the simplest enemy guard with like real tactical like ideas of like cover and like removing yourself from area of effect, like spreading out, all that stuff. If you're playing intelligent enemies and you are playing against players that are more than like level 3 or 4, they're probably relatively well known in an area unless they just arrived. The goblins have probably heard about these people. If they're flinging fireballs, people know that's their thing. They fling fireballs. Even goblins will be like, hey, maybe we shouldn't clump up together. Common Crook, Daily Bugle Reporters, Passenger Ferry, Shock, Spider-Man, Brooklyn Visionary, Oscorp, Gallant Citizen, Spiderbot. We're on to the uncommons now. We got a Molten Man, Inferno Incarnate. We got a Vulture Scheming Scavenger. I think it's the first time I've gotten this one. Spider-Man Heroic Horde, which I believe is him. It's Spider's Man Heroic Horde. He's coming in with a bunch of spiders. We have a Spider-Woman Stunning Savior. First time getting this card so far. I do not know if it is super valuable. Amazing Acrobatics, an island. So we're going to set these ones aside. They're not going to be worth like $1 million, but they might be worth something. That is also the thing. The value of these cards and sets is going down. So even if this is worth it now, will it be worth it a month from now? Probably not. All right. I just ran on my first game as a DM. It was a cave of kobolds with a few other creatures. They steamrolled. Your character steamrolled, or the kobold steamrolled them? Yeah, it's one of the things. Your party, you really have to know your party, who you're playing with. Some groups just love the power fantasy of it all. They really like coming in, blowing shit up, and being the superheroes of the adventure. That's cool. If you're cool with that and they're cool with that, there's no problem to fix. If your players are coming to you, it's like, hey, like I've made this really cool, fun character that can do really cool things in combat, and I feel like I really just never get to use it because the combats are over so quick. Then you can start making it more difficult. If people are saying like, hey, I would like to, you can ask them too. Like as a dungeon master, ask your players questions. It's like, hey, how was that combat? Was it too easy? Was it too hard? Was it just right? Do you feel like it could have been better? Like, I feel like some people are afraid to do that because it's like a peek behind the curtain, and as a dungeon master, it makes you feel less like, oh, I know how the game works, like anime style. Ask your players questions, check in with them, see if they like what you're doing. Characters until they until the other came and gave the last of the character levels. Nice. Yeah, yeah. Like first like level one adventures. Oh, you awesome. Thank you, Drivix. Level one adventure level one adventures with level one adventurers is survival horror. They can't I have played so many level ones where they just die because like an orc, just a random, and that makes sense. Like a random orc can just kill a level one adventurer, not intentionally. Like especially if they got like a battle axe or a two-handed axe. A D12 is as a damage die is a character killer at level one. And it's scary. It really scares everybody. Let me make sure I got some comments. My apologies to ask, do you have an opinion on multi-classing trickery, domain, cleric, and rogue? Apologies again. There's no apologies. No apologies. Why are you apologizing? I like multi-classing. I really like getting a little bit of PB&J into my chocolate or PB&J into my jelly. What is that? What is that? Goober? The goober can. I really like mixing things in because in previous editions of Dungeons and Dragons, like 3.5 and like I also consider Pathfinder 1E to be basically, in that line. It's an offshoot, but it's in that line. You can really, really, if you want a character concept that does like one thing incredibly well and does it very cool and does it in cool ways, it gave you so many options. Thank you, Adrian. I want to be your jelly. Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate that. But yeah, like that's that in Pathfinder and early you could really consolidate down on a character like type, and you can grab things like archetypes and feats and things like that to make a character that doesn't require multi-classing, but makes it really cool and unique, and that nobody else maybe would have made themselves. Like it could be unique in a way that nobody else has done. In 5e, you just don't have that many options for that, so multi-classing becomes necessary. So I love doing things like rogue and cleric, rogue and fighter. I like rogue is something I pepper in quite a bit. It's fun to do a little dash of rogue. Oh, we got another comment from Robin. Also, right, have you heard of the channel Hymns of the Imperium? She makes good 40K fan songs. I have not. I have not heard of that. I need to check that out. I need some more Hammer 40K background music. So I just started what is it? Not Maledictum, but the D6 one. What is it called? Wrath and Glory. I'm doing the Wrath and Glory Warhammer 40K game with some friends. It's really great, but I'm slacking on the music department. I don't know. I've not been playing music. Actually, my bot, I was using Kenku bot on Discord, just kind of broke. It doesn't work anymore. I don't know. I got to redo it or something. Oh my goodness, how doing? I'm doing good. We're pulling cards. I already pulled a soul stone. I gotta. So the setup for those of you that have not been here, if you go to Micro Center right now, or you just go to their website, you'll see that the Spider-Man boxes, and I had an unopened one. I don't know what to do with it. Oh God, did I lose it already? These are going for $99 right now, which for Universes Beyond is wild. This is under MSRP. It has to be. So you can get these for $99. I'm seeing if it's still worth it to crack these packs or not. Statistically speaking, and also, I didn't know this about Micro Center. If you buy something at Micro Center and it goes down in price within a month, you can go in and they'll give you that money back. So I bought one of these packs earlier this month for $120 because I thought that was ridiculously low for these packs. And then the salesperson was like, hey, you do know that you can get your money back. So this one is actually, or not this one, the one I'm pulling, I'm saying is a $79.99 pack, which makes this ridiculously easy to get my money on. So we're going to see if I can make my money back. There's also a tax break because I'm doing this for entertainment. I'm an entertainer. That's how this works, right? I love your content. This is from Titan of Gaming. Love your content. You are so funny. My whole group follows you. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That means that really does mean a ton to me. Um, it's been tough recently. So like if I'm gonna level with y'all, I got a lot of stuff going on at my work. I'm not a government worker, but I am a contractor. So like work has been crazy for the last month. It is just now going back to normal. So I've been very stressed out. My wife's been a little sick. I've been a little sick. I have been changing up my ADHD medications. So like it's been really tough. I feel like I am not doing well content creation wise. I'm not putting out nearly as many videos as I was doing before. So it's not just like it feels good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you saying that. I needed that. Oh, we're doing magic. Yeah, we're doing magic tonight. We're ripping packs. They had a good time, made the map myself. Nice. I used to get, what is it? It's like, my beard is also crazy. I need to get a haircut. I need a haircut, beard trim. I'm doing that for PAX Unplugged. Is anybody going to PAX Unplugged? So what I used to do for maps is that you have those like that big graph paper that you could put on like an easel. I would draw freehand the map. Or sometimes I would also take it from the book and like make it bigger, but then I would freehand all these maps and stuff. And it took so long, but it was so much fun. It was like an adult like coloring book. And then it would get used for a few hours, and then I just have nowhere to put it. And I didn't want to throw it away because like I'd spent so much time on it. It looked pretty good too. It was before I found out like digital stuff. Girl math. Just bought Avatar today. I have some Avatar stuff coming in. I know that they're in shops if you go to certain shops, but I have not found any in person. But I do have a bunch coming in. I think during PAX, it will arrive at my house. I got to get my friend to come get all these things that I bought. Greetings from Yorkshire. How's it doing, Out of Print GM? Good to see you. Sadly, going to miss it the years, but have a blast. Yes. Sorry. It stinks. I was hoping to see y'all. Check my TikTok out. I post them. Just put on number one. Blah, blah, blah. Dylan Bard, how you doing, bud? I can make you one. Oh, you make me a map? Critical cartographer. We'll talk in a minute. We'll talk. All right, I got some more comments. I got to rip some packs. Also, Ryan, character idea: pyromaniac, high elf rogue plus prestidigitation. That's probably going to give you some very good RP moments. I've played a pyromaniac, a bit of a character before. It's never not fun. I did enjoy. I super enjoyed Daggerheart. But I've played a pyromaniac before, and it was a necromancer. Necromancer. That was actually part of the podcast that I had done a long time ago called Dice Populi. His name was Cult, but his whole thing was like he's a bit of a cannibal. He was an experiment for me to see if I could do an evil character that did not really stomp on everybody else's agency and like be awful, like people could love. And I do think Cult was one of the most beloved characters on that podcast. There was like art made of him and all this other stuff. Cult is like my pride and joy. But it was proof to me that you can make a character that didn't stomp on everybody else's fun and could still be evil. You're evil for your friends, not evil to your friends. And he was a pyromaniac. Like the first episode, I start lighting the town on fire because it's not like an actual town. It is it's like a pirate encampment that they have like basically put us in prison at. So I'm just like lighting stuff on fire as I go. It's great. It's a ton of fun. My DM was not expecting it. Let's see here. To enjoy Daggerheart. I love Daggerheart. I always enjoy playing Daggerheart. It's so much fun. It's a different power fantasy. I like the mechanics of it. It just feels fun. It feels very heroic, adventure-y, my character. And then Critical Cartographer. If you're trying to make a map for me, send me a DM. It's same old, and prep to run a game for Dragon Meet in 2 weeks. I do want to go to Dragon Meet at some point. Unstable Experiment, Romantic Rendezvous, Professional Wrestler, Scorpion Sting. I'm just rolling through all these comments because it's like 15. We've seen most of these the entire time that we've been doing this. So Wild Pack Squad, Oscorp Research Team, Eerie Gravestone, Ezekiel Sims. We have another Ezekiel Sims. Sandman's Quicksand. I don't believe I've seen this. I don't believe I've seen this one yet. This might be new. Sorry, the art is not coming out great on YouTube there. That is my apologies. We got a Spider-Mobile. We've already seen that one. We have a Parker Luck, which honestly, nothing is worse than Parker's Luck. Great luck with women. terrible luck with everything else. This is the first time I've seen this card as well. We're going to set that aside. We've got to hide on the ceiling. I don't believe I've seen that yet. Sorry that it's so blurry. We're going to do then a risky research in a savage mansion. Nothing wild yet. I played a pyromaniac that was a Phoenix patron warlock, fire genasi, and a correct lava skin. That'll do it. Honestly, at that point, anything you touch is fair game to be on fire. Pyromaniacs are fun. Like, there is, I think, as long as you do it in a way that you're like your party thinks it's funny and fun and everybody's having a good time. I love playing that character that just pushes the button, that does the fun thing that nobody wants, like nobody is expecting or would do because they care about their player. It's like, yes, I'm the character that is going to start a fire in the room we are in right now just to get this thing moving. All right, we got professional wrestler, scorpion sting, Spider-Man web slinger, Doc Ock, sinister scientist, taxi driver, bagel and schmear, masked meower, gallant citizen. Ooh, we got another chameleon. We're chameleon rich. This is the third chameleon so far. Set that aside. I think that one is, I don't know if it's, we have another molten man inferno. Molten man inferno incarnate. The second time we've pulled this so far. Like I said, you just get so many duplicates. We have a prison break. I don't believe I have this one. I don't believe it is very like rare card either. And then for our rare, we have Sandman Shifting Scoundrel. I think this is the first time I have pulled this as well. I do not believe it is an incredibly rare card. And we have a web up and a university campus and a treasure. All right. If I had staff, I could do this. I'd have somebody checking all the prices of these cards as I go, and there'd be like a little counter or something like that. But also, I'd have a setup where I could show y'all properly the cards I'm pulling. As you can tell from the background, I still haven't really set up my office since moving. So things are just flexible right now. All right, Dylan, it's good to see you. All right. Amazing acrobatics. Spider-Gwen, guy in the chair. I've seen all of these. I've seen this exact first 4 cards. I think this is the second time I've seen it. Spectacular Tactics, seen it. Pumpkin Bombardment, another prison break. Flash Thompson, Spider-Fan. I pulled this already, but not yet in this box. Not worth much, I'm going to be honest. We have supportive parents, which, isn't that so cute? Isn't that so cute? We all need more support. And we got a full art card here. We have Doc Ock, Armed and Dangerous. I love that art card. And if y'all like this, I'm probably going to be doing some pulls so I can do the tax write-off of it all. I'm going to be pulling all of my avatar stuff that is on the way. So I got some cool ones for that. Ooh, we have a cool card in here. I just kind of flashed myself with it. Supportive parents, we already saw that. We have Peter Parker's camera. I've not seen this equipment yet, so it's probably a good equipment. And then we have a Peter Parker. I have not pulled the Peter Parker Amazing Spider-Man two-sided. So that is cool. This is brand new to me. And this is rare. I don't know if it's actually good rare, but we have the Origin of Spider-Man. I believe this is a saga, but it is the alt art and foil. Watch this be worth 20 cents. But no, yeah, that was cool. That is a lucky grab in that pack, because typically speaking, the little bonus foil is not a full art card. So we're going to look that up. We're going to look up a couple of these. We're going to take a little break. See where we're at right now. Grabbing stuff at Unplugged. Yes. I'm going to be grabbing so much. This will be my first time, Shelly. This is going to be my first time doing Magic stuff at PAX Unplugged. It's going to be dangerous. I'm going to see. I have a real big problem, like effectively whoring myself out for money at these events. I'm going to try so hard to get as many free Magic packs or stuff as I possibly can. I'm going to see how hard it is to get like some free rips. And then I'm going to record all of them, and it's going to be great. All right. So I'm going to check these. So I'm going to bring it over. We got Doc Ock, Armed and Dangerous. We're going to see if we got any big money makers. Oh, this surprise. This is funny to me that this is 40 cents. 40 cents. The prices on these are just skyrocketing downwards. We're gonna do Origin of Spider-Man. We're doing the borderless hollow, 25 cents. The foil is 69 cents. Oh man, the pricing. It's so bad. It's so bad. Let's check out Amazing Spider-Man. Oh, I'm dropping cards. Oh no. Like making my money back on this might be difficult. All right, we're gonna look up Peter Parker. All right, Peter Parker is oh, well, direct from TCG Player. This is for the near mint foil. For the non one, it's probably gonna be like $2.47. This bad boy, which is not bad. But yeah, I just wanted to check a couple just to see where we're at. Those were the cool ones that I was thinking is gonna be kind of like big money makers. Not so much, actually. Wild to me. Hey, I don't blame you. After Thursday, I'm going to be doing the same. We all are. We're all going there to get some of that sweet free. If you're a content creator like me, sweet free stuff, because it doesn't. Wait, aren't you a math teacher? Am I a math teacher? I'm not a math teacher. I don't think so. Hello. I have clearly been watching too much news when I see RUN-DMG with MtG, and I think he's talking about politicians. Yes, we're talking Marjorie Taylor Greene, baby. We're ripping some packs of Marjorie Taylor Greene. Any exciting new RPGs or D&D supplements you've tried lately? Have you been considering Legions or Cities of the Mist? I reached out to people that made Cities of the Mist a while back. I was hoping to get some cool stuff to basically review, but it kind of fell through. I don't have too much on my radar right now. I definitely want to see what like Limithron is up to. I want to see what MythWorks is up to. I don't know if they have anything in particular that is new. I definitely want to see Darrington Press. I know they've been working on some stuff. They've got a lot of Void content out right now that might be making its way into some form of supplementary material. So I think they might announce something there. Dungeons and Dragons. I went to Gen Con and I was able to play test some D&D stuff like officially with them. And like I was there with like other like reporters. I'm not a reporter. It was really cool. I'm excited to see what Wizards is working on for D&D. I think they may have figured out that they have not been making the highest quality content recently. So they are trying to make an active change towards the better. So I'm excited on that front to see what they're doing with that. They're like their starter set. I got to play their starter set. It's bonkers good. Like, is it like groundbreaking good? No. Is it a genuine step in the right direction? Yes. So very excited to see that. So if they have some cool stuff, I'm always looking for indie stuff that looks interesting. I go to all the indie booths. Indie Press Revolution, they've got my credit card number like on file. So I go to Indie Press Revolution. I also go to Plus One EXP. Ask for Tony Pepperoni. You don't say I mean, maybe you could do Tony Pepperoni, but ask for Tony. Tony is one of the co-owners of Plus One EXP. Amazing person, genuine individual that I love. And I basically ask him, what's the hot new stuff? And they're an indie publisher and also an indie seller. They don't publish everything, but they also resell a lot of stuff. I just have him sell me on something really cool. I buy it. Sometimes I play it. Sometimes it goes on a shelf, but I know that it's supporting Tony. I know it's supporting an indie developer that's making something really cool that I like the idea of. I always check those out. So I always come back with like at least 4 or 5 new things that I've never played before. End up playing just because how schedules are, like 2 or 3 of them. But I'm always happy to have them and eventually play them because that was always the goal. You look like a math teacher I've heard of. Just wanted to put that out. I am not a math teacher though. I did go to school for engineering and I am an aerospace engineer. But love the stream. Thank you. But yeah, that's what's on my thing. Nothing cast presentation, illusion of rough fabric texture on tongue and teeth. I don't like that. I as somebody that does not like, I have a real textural thing. And it's not my thing. Wild Pack Squad, Unstable Experiment, Taxi Driver, Subway Train, Merciless Enforcers, Bagel and Schmear, Venomized Cat, Wall Crawl, I believe, is the first time we've seen Wall Crawl. The art, the thing that pains me about this set is that the art is genuinely good. We got Alien Symbiosis we've seen. We got Web Warriors, which we have not seen. The art is genuinely pretty good. But the problem is, it's just not that there's not enough cards in here. Spider Sense, which this is also new to me, not just generally. This is not the first time anybody's seen this card. We got a Spider-Man 2099. I think I have this one. It's not worth a ton. I think it's like worth $1, but the art is really cool. And we got a Taxi Driver, Savage Mansion, and Spider Token. Ripping them and sticking them. It's just crazy how easy to open these packs are. Wild. Make sure I'm not missing out on any comments here. Keep saying I'm going to get into Magic the Gathering, but then don't. I have a whole box of cards from my ex. It's honestly, so Kelsey, I don't know if you're still in because it was a few minutes ago. Kelsey, highly recommend do Commander. Like, I think people might assail me in the comments for doing Commander. I think Commander is really like newbie friendly. I think it is very fun friendly. If you get my drift, like, everybody's here to do something fun and kooky with their deck. They're not necessarily here to win outright every single time. It is just, it reminds me more of, there's like a D&D quality where it's like sitting in a room with your friends, having a beer, chit-chatting, playing a game. Commander is that level. Not with everybody, but I do think it's that. Like, I played just 2-3 nights ago. Oh, I have to verify that I'm a real person. There we go. I played a game with just like an impromptu friend with a buddy and my brother, and we just kind of chit-chatted, shooting the shit for like 2-ish hours total. Not all that is playing because they were kind of just taking breaks and stuff like that. But it was really fun. I got to catch up with my brother a little bit, got to catch up with my buddy a little bit. We got to play. My brother kicked my ass because he plays way more Commander than me. But if you have like a big bunch of cards, try Commander. I think it's a friendlier format. And I think that's why it's winning right now. Because I've played regular Magic just a little bit with some friends, and it is punishing to a certain degree. You need a very, like, because I don't know if they do the same bracket system. I don't know if they have like friendly, don't do anything wild decks, but everybody is basically trying to do some form of infinite beatdown combo on turn 3. And that being said, you can play like 20 games in a long session because those games might be only 10 minutes. But because you're playing with one-on-one and you may not necessarily like really enjoy that person's company, it's not as conversational. It's not as like fun and friendly. Definitely try Commander. It could be the thing that gets you into it, especially if you have just a bunch of cards that you want to try. If you just want to try, I would say Commander. I thought about it, but just going to my LGS during an MTG night with a box and shout, "Help me make a." If you go on a Commander night, there is a decent chance somebody be like, "Yes, please." That being said, if that seems really daunting to come up with a deck on your own. For Commander, they have pre-made decks. So I have one handy actually. This is you don't have to get this one, but they have them like this where it has all the cards you need to play. It has the Commander, and you can get these. Like, this is a bad example. This one goes for like $80 right now. I didn't buy it for $80. I got a deal. Like, if I bought 4 different ones, but you can get these for as low as like $30 or less, depending if they're on sale. And it comes with everything you need to play. There's also free things you can do online. Like, I used untap.in, I believe. And you can just upload the deck lists of these, which is really easy. It's all just like basically copying a link from one place and putting it into another. And you can test these decks and play with them with your friends online. So yeah, look into precons. Precons make it just so simple to get started. And these are good decks for the most part too. You can look up ratings for them and like what people think about them. But like 8 times out of 10, you'll find something that's really fun and it'll tell you what the vibe is. So Valgavoth is like punish your opponents, make them pay. This is like a tax deck where effectively every time they do something, they pay a life. If you build up your decks, if you put out the cards the right way. But they have other ones where you're like searching your deck for different cards. They have other ones where like if lands come into play, it creates a bunch of effects that then like do cool things like create monsters or buff up your monsters. So definitely look into precons. Precons are really cool, and I don't believe there's too many bad ones. There are some really great ones, but there's not that many like awful ones that people don't like. Got Spider-Man Web Slinger. We're getting back into Magic. We're getting back into Magic. I haven't played Magic since Ice Age. It's time to get back in. Honestly, especially for Commander, I think it's a great time for Commander. It's never been. It is the most popular format. It's also the friendliest format right now, just because of the bracket system. Like the people that are making the hey, I have a infinite combo on round one aren't playing with the people where it's like I really like Balloon Man and I like making balloons that do 1 damage to you. They're never going to interact those decks, at least hopefully. So we have Spider-Man, Winx, Web Slinger, Stegron, Dinosaur Man, Whoosh, Kapow, Venom Evil Unleashed, Scout the City, Pumpkin Bombardment. All right, we're going on to some of the uncommons here. We have Prowler Clawed Thief. Haven't seen him in this yet. Sorry that it's blurry online. Sandman's Quicksand. I don't believe we saw a Sandman, but this is a different. The art is very similar, though. Superior Foes of Spiderman, which I have one of these cards already, but it is a pretty cool card. It's just a 3/3 villain card. Supportive Parents, we've seen this. We have Craven's Last Hunt, which I don't believe I own. We're going to set those aside. We have Shadow of the Goblin, Unreliable Visions. At the beginning of your first main phase, discard a card if you do draw a card. Undying Vengeance, whenever you play a land or cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. That is kind of a good card. So we're going to set that aside. Especially because I have a landfall. I have the World Shaper Precon, which is a landfall deck that I've like augmented with some of my card pulls. It'd be a good one. All right, let's see here. Got some comments here. Yeah, Commander is the only way I could see myself getting into Magic right now. It just seems way more fun. It is because I tried getting into Magic like 6 years ago. It did not take. I did not enjoy it as much as I thought I would. Commander, though, full send. I've gotten into it now. It's a lot of fun, and I think because I like Commander now, I'm more apt. I would be more okay playing the other formats as well. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, especially and then because you can just play with some friends, you can do your own little custom rules, you can have your own little decks, you can kind of and then because you're playing with your friends all the time and chit-chatting with them, it also builds up that just a small sense of like rivalry. It's like I'm going to build a deck to destroy all of my friends on Friday. And it's that fun aspect that's not like I don't want to destroy a stranger and ruin their day. I want my friend to be like to curse at me and scream at me because I ended it on turn 2. Because I know that just means we get to play more, and I'm only going to play that deck once. We're going live on YouTube. Sorry, we just lost them. I'll answer this once we're fully live. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Somebody asked if I play Digimon. I watched Digimon as a kid. I do not play Digimon. We can see what getting for the commanders who played decades ago. Commander is super friendly to the people who have collected for decades. One of the rare deep cuts. It's up for you. Yeah, like I think just because of the format and because you can be like, hey, I'm doing what is it? The bracket 1 where it's just a fool around deck. You can use the really old stuff that maybe has not aged power wise well and still have a good time. But also there's a lot of cards from the older versions that are super powerful now just because they can be augmented and used with cards that were never even envisioned 20 years ago. Commander is my favorite just because I can make such unique decks. Yeah, and that's my thing with like I play a little bit of Arena. It's like you're seeing it's just the same 4 or 5 cards over and over again, just hitting you in the face and insulting your right of life. Commander is my favorite just because I can make such unique decks. Yeah, I know. I just read that. Imagine running 1E or 2E spells on Orange. I actually played in a charity game about 3 years ago where the guy was running. I was playing a 2E wizard and he was running a 5E adventure. So I was able to do all of my 2E shenanigans on in a 5E world. You wreck because there's just like so many instant death spells in earlier editions. I play Silver Slivers with Indestructible. monster. I've been wanting to get into slivers. I don't have any slivers. So the idea of doing like a sliver deck, I don't have any Phyrexian stuff. I don't have any really any Eldrazi, just like pieces and parts. I don't have any full decks for that. I definitely want to try that because they're supposed to be really fun, like quintessential decks. We have inner demons gangsters, Beetle legacy criminal, Shock, Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary, wait. In the same pack, I want y'all to look. One of these things is a dupe in the same pack, 2 of the same card. That's wild. In the same pack, 2 of the same card. That's supposed to be unlikely, to say the least, I would hope. The fact that this is so possible, because I believe that's not the first time it's happened to me, not necessarily with this box, but other boxes, wild. Let's see here. I was saying that because I imagine a Digimon D&D game. Digimon D&D game would go hard because first level your character would just be a fuzzy little monster. By the time you get to like, I don't know, second level, I guess, you could become an archangel. And then by third level, you're just a concept. That was the weirdest part of Digimon that killed me as a kid. Like, they're just like these fuzzy little monsters. And then it's like, oh, they level up. And now like the little tube man with wings is now an angel. Why? Sorry, so we got Spider Manifestation, which is a pretty solid card. News Helicopter, Spider-Man No More, Shriek, Troublemaker, which I believe is worth a little bit. Silver Sable, Mercenary Leader, Spider, piloted by Penny. First time pulling this. Which, it's a cool card. It's just not worth very much. Shadow of the Goblin. We just pulled this a second ago. It's kind of funny. We're going to set these aside, check them. And then we have a Scorpion Seething Striker and a Suburban Sanctuary. Nothing to call home about. Oh, I'm going to take a drink of water because my throat is getting a little dry. Ooh. Ugh. I need Mr. Cheddar back. Not just me. The world needs him. He was simply misunderstood, and he is the real hero. He could totally have survived the nukes. I do need to bring him back. I loved that series with all of my heart. It also it did really well. Like I think the total sum of that like series, it was like 5-6 million views, which is just wild. It is also stolen constantly. I see it played on like robbery accounts. I don't know, thief accounts all the time. But I do need to do it. It is so. I need to bring him back. It's time for a comeback. My first 60 card pre-con was Slivers decades ago. Slivers get folded to board wipes. Also, Slivers get full table hate if you want to be focused play Slivers. I can see that. They're scary to play against, like big things that make a lot of a thing. What was I playing? I have a landfall deck. It's the World Shapers one, and I have a couple of those things where it's like Scoot Swarm, where if you have more than 6 lands, it just doesn't make a copy on landfall. It doesn't just make a token; it makes a copy of the card. So, and if you can play, because that deck allows you to play, like you could play like 4 lands on a turn or more. It basically allows you to make a Scoot Swarm that creates Scoot Swarms at a geometric rate. So it goes from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16. So like I got board wiped. I was actually played that last night, and I got board wiped because I had not because I had before. I didn't always have the 6 lands necessary. I basically had like 31 ones. So I was like, oh, who am I fucking up? Risky Research, The Whip, Amazing Acrobatics, Spider Gwen, 3rd time. Guy in a Chair, 4th or 5th time we've seen Guy in the Chair. Hot Dog Cart, Venomized Cat. We've got a Skyward Spider. We have a Green Goblin Revenant, which I believe is the first time I have seen this. Don't hate it. I love the art. I'm going to set that aside. Daily Bugle Building. Have a bunch of those. I don't know if I've shown y'all. It's just a Daily Bugle Building. It's like a half decent land. There's nothing wrong with it. Robotics Mastery, Then we have a anti-venom. Ooh, I have been looking for this card. This has been a target of mine for to grab anti-venom. It is a 5 white. I'm gonna say, and then we got a pigeon and a foil full land, which is not nothing. And we got a foil city pigeon. But this one I have been looking for. Anti-venom horrifying healer. This might make a cool commander. When anti-venom enters, if he was cast, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. If damage would be dealt to anti-venom, prevent that damage and put that many 1/1 counters on him. He is a 5/5, 5 white. Mono white commander. I don't know if that's a great combo. I don't know if that like works, but I've been looking for this card. This is a cool card. Setting that aside, I'm gonna look up the price. You know what? Let's do it now. Scoot Scream gets nasty fast. Oh yeah, I love Scoot Swarm. And then I had another one. They're in the deck itself. It comes with one that does the same thing, except they have flying, which makes them kind of sick. Um, slivers are hard to find now. That's definitely the truth. I just built a standard colorless deck around Thrumming Liverpool Arena. Sounds pretty great. I colorless decks I find fascinating too. I definitely want to try that out. How would you multi-class rogue and a cleric? Well, it depends. To answer your question, not with a question, like what are you looking for? Or like jester, if we're looking at like common examples that would like work, if you wanted to create like a jestery type cleric, like a level of rogue would slap because it just gives you a couple levels of rogue probably. Just because it gives you like reliable talent, or not reliable talent. I can't remember the what's it? Is it reliable talent? No, not reliable talent, because reliable talent is you can't lose. It's the it's the one where you double your specializations, like when you double your. Why am I blanking on all the words from Dungeons and Dragons? I'm so Magic the Gathering like brained right now. Proficiency allows you to double your proficiency modifier. So if you wanted to be sneaky, that would be something you could do. I don't know. I can't remember exactly how many levels. It might be 2 levels, but it also makes you very versatile because you can use your bonus action for a lot of different things if you kind of multi-class in a rogue. So like if you're trying to go for like a jestery kind of thing where you're using illusion magic and trickery domain type stuff, that would have great synergy. If you wanted to do, but like rogue is like a really solid 1 to 2 dip just because it allows you to do a lot of stuff with your bonus action. An incredibly mad, insane cleric that's incredibly paranoid. That would, so I mean, depending on what domain you want to go with, rogue would help you out there because if you want to be able to get out of situations that cleric is going to get into all of the time, that might explain why your character is still alive. Just because they're able to sneak really well, or they're able to pick locks really well, or they're able to just be, they know some of the things that a rogue would know and are able to basically be very live. I guess it depends on what kind of split you want to do. If you are looking to be like a rogue with a little bit of cleric versus being a cleric with a little bit of rogue, because those things would be very, very different. A little bit of cleric with a whole lot of rogue, you would be mostly a melee fighter, which is good for you because um, depending on the domain cleric you go with, you can get some things that might benefit you on the rogue side, like making your weapon, like guaranteeing certain hits, maybe giving you advantage in certain situations, giving you some utility. Because as a rogue, having cantrips is electric. It's like really good. And depending if you go like arcane trickster, those things synergize because your spell slots combined. So you'll have a lot of spell slots, or more spell slots than you normally would if you just went full arcane trickster. But yeah, like cantrips, especially for low level rogues, slap hard. But cleric inherently is probably going to limit some of those cantrips you can do for like combat purposes. But it's like having some range and having some utility, like message and things like that, really good. On the converse side, if you're going a little bit of cleric or a lot of cleric with a little bit of rogue, you'll probably just be a relatively like slightly down tuned because you're probably going to be missing out on a little bit of spell slots for your level. You're going to be a lot more sneaky and you're going to be a lot more versatile. in what you can do on and off the battlefield. You're going to want to, if you're going to take a couple, if you're just taking a couple levels of rogue, you're still going to want to capitalize on being fighty, like stand up and fighty, because you want that sneak attack, because it is going to help you out with damage. But there are like more stand up and fight archetypes for clerics, so that also works. So it really depends on what you're going for. Finding out that divide, little bit of cleric or a little bit of rogue, and vice versa. Figure that out first, and sometimes that will come from the archetype that you're going for. Are you going for like a massively powerful, like bring down a city mad cleric? That's going to be mostly cleric, because you're not going to be able to do that sort of thing if you're like 10 levels of rogue and 2 levels of cleric. But if you're 10 levels of cleric and 2 levels of rogue, you can do some really scary stuff as a cleric, because you've got those high level spells. So we got Doc Ock, Sinister Scientist, Taxi Driver, Subway Train, Merciless Enforcers, Web Up, Scout the City, Spider-Man No More, Spider Manifestation. We got the Spider Suit. Spider Suit. Raging Goblinoids. Sun Spider Nimble Webber, which I think I've seen that one. The art is cool. Basically just grabbing a bunch of stuff. We got a cool one. I'll set these aside. They could be worth. We got Eddie Brock. Eddie Brock. Which then, of course, turns into Venom. Got Venom Lethal Protector. I think Venom Lethal Protector might be kind of like worth some money. We're going to look that up real quick. Let's look it up. All right. We're going to look up Eddie Brock. It's not borderless. It's just regular. Okay, so regular Eddie Brock. Just regular old Eddie Brock boy. $5.39. That's not bad. He was going for over $100 in the August time frame, which would have been basically before this set was officially out. First time viewer, just wanted to say you're awesome, and the Buc-ee's is awesome. Beaver Nuggets for the win. Beaver Nuggets for the win. I introduced some friends to those. They thought I was crazy when I was describing them, and now every time I go to a Buc-ee's, they want me to bring them back a pack. I love Buc-ee's. This was also a really cheap mug. Love it. All right, see here. From an RP standpoint, I want him to be someone that randomly breaks a table because he thought it moved. I guess it is. So do you want him to be like scary powerful? Because casters just are always scary powerful. That would be my question. Scary powerful, I think you're going to be mostly cleric. If you just want him to still be relatively powerful, but maybe not necessarily like bring down the city. So yeah, anti-venom is also fine. Oh, he's going for like anywhere from $6 to $8. Anti-venom is a cool get. I think we may have just broke even on this with anti-venom. So all right, we're gonna rip another pack. We have some more packs, and then once we finish those packs, we're going into this little box. We're gonna see what's up with it, which it has some regular packs, and then it has a singular collector booster. So we're gonna see in terms of combat, Master Undead Summoner. Oh yeah. Then you're gonna have to go mostly cleric. You're gonna go Death Domain Cleric on that one, which is I haven't looked that up for the newest 5e, like 5e 2024. I don't know if that is out yet. It was a pretty solid domain for the like 2014. It had kind of a mix of cool spells, and I think you could wear heavy armor, if I'm remembering right. It's a solid build. But yeah, if you're going to want to go undead stuff, you're definitely going to have to go mostly cleric. Because the undead stuff doesn't really come online until you get like, I think 3rd level spells is when you can actually start putting undead on the field. So if you want that vibe, shoot for cleric as quickly as possible. Otherwise, you're going to be the undead like guy that doesn't make anything that's undead for just an incredible amount of time. We got Venom's Hunger, City Pigeon, Beetle, Legacy Criminal, Electro Bolt, Spider Rex, Daring Dino, Oscorp Research Team, Mechanical Mobster. All of these I've gotten multiple times at this point. Scout the City. We do have another Spider Suit. That's a dupe. Vulture Scheming Scavenger. That's a dupe. Spots Portal. First time seeing it so far. I think I got it last time. It is not incredibly valuable. Got Craven the Hunter. I believe this might be the rare, which is not a bad card. It looks cool. And then we have a Venom's Hunger and a Sinister Hideout. I'm going to set that aside. I don't believe it's worth too much, but we're going to keep rolling. We're going to roll. I've got 54% battery on this phone, so we're going to keep on rolling through. Okay, thank you. Yeah. And then, yeah, tell me how it goes. The one thing I would say is if you're playing something that is like supposed to be kind of maybe stared into the abyss and they got caught staring back as like mad, quote unquote, just be careful. Run it by everybody at the table, and then be careful you're not like encroaching on anything that might make anybody uncomfortable. You know, you never know who's got what going on. Like I have a friend that you would never think would have schizophrenia just because it's managed well with medication. And I feel like if I played a character that was stereotyping like schizophrenia in a way, like they might feel something that way. So just be careful. I don't want to be like all woke mind virus on you. But like I always take that into account. Make sure the table is cool with it. Just because it is really easy to kind of like delve into that kind of like uncomfortable territory. And you just don't want to like make a friend upset over like an imaginary character. Like, and some of that stuff just runs really deep. So just be careful with that. That's my, and like, feel free to ignore me. Starling, Aerial Ally, Doc Ock Henchman, Steel Wrecking Ball, Grow Extra Arms. I think the fourth or fifth time I've seen some of these. Risky Research, Spider Islanders, Skyward Spider. Seen it. Hot Dog Cart, terrific team up. I don't think if this one has come across yet. We got a Morbius. This isn't Morbius, but that's the next one. It's Morbin time. It's Morbin time. Morbin. I don't think it's worth much, but it's a fun card. And then we have a Spots Portal again. Whoop. It's funny that you just get some of these duplicates like back to back like that. Ooh, this is a good one. Symbiote Spider-Man. I don't believe this is like wild rare, but I do love the art on that. It's great art. Sorry, that's not going to work out well on the camera. Oh, you can kind of see it. It's got great art. Let's read it. It is a blue-black. Whenever this, or blue or black, sorry. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, look at that many cards from the top of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest in the graveyard. And you could find a new host for 2 mana, 2 colorless, or a white, or not a white, a blue and or a black. Exile this card from your graveyard, put a 1/1 counter on a target creature you control. It gains this card's other abilities, activate only as a sorcery. That's kind of sick. That's the type of card that you could maybe do some real damage with. I'm going to set that aside. And then I got a foil Spider Rex, a Plains, and a Spider token. Nothing breaking the bank here. We're chugging through these. Honestly, I wasn't super impressed with the set, sadly, but I'm excited for the after. I'm going to level with you. I'm not super impressed with this set either. It's too small. I have ripped 2 of these boxes. I'm going to have in each box up to, you're almost guaranteed to get 7 duplicates of at least a single card. And then I believe it was either 22 or 42 cards out of this box, or not 40 like card types basically. I had duplicates of 6 times, which means there are some of these that are just functionally identical. Like there's not enough cards to make, because I heard a conspiracy theory, and it might not be a conspiracy theory, that this was meant to be one of those 7 cards in a pack ones, like the little half releases that they had for like Assassin's Creed. And then because Assassin's Creed did not perform the way they wanted it to, they basically pushed this to be a full 15 or 14, however many are in the pack. And because of that, there's just so many duplicates. Beetle, like this Beetle Legacy Criminal, Shock, Spider-Man, Broken Visionary, Demon Gangsters. We've probably seen those 6 times so far. It's unsatisfying to a certain degree. And I just don't know if you could make a good deck with that. I think, like, especially considering like Commander is like a big format, like I think it pushes like sales. it'd be kind of hard to get 100 cards. Like if you wanted to do a full Spider-Man deck, it'd be kind of hard because you're going to have so many dupes. You can't have any dupes. You can't have any dupes. They all have to be singles. So it'd be really hard to get like a satisfying deck. You'd have to get some other stuff in there to make it work. So, which I think you kind of have to do with all the sets, but less. So we got Daily Bugle Reporters, Gallant Citizens, Vibrant Cityscape. I have so many Vibrant Cityscapes. Masked Meower, Spider-Man UK. This first time pulling it so far in here. First time I pulled this, it was back-to-back with a Spider-Man India, which I think is funny. We have Shocker Unshakable, which the art on this is really fun. During your turn, Shocker has first strike. Vibro Shock Gauntlets. When Shocker enters, he deals 2 damage to target creature and 2 damage to the creature's controller. So if you could cycle this bad boy in and out, that could make a cool little cycle. We got Costume Closet, which we've seen before. Spider Ham. That's it. That's the chase card of the set. Spider Ham. When Spider Ham enters, create a food token. Animal Mayhem, other spiders, boars, bats, bears, birds, cats, dogs, frogs, jackals, lizards, mice, otters, rabbits, raccoons, rats, squirrels, turtles, and wolves you control get +1/+1. I was going to say, wait, mice and rats. And then we have a foil beetle legacy criminal, which is nothing to talk about because we have 6 of those already. We'll set these aside in the rare pack. All right, how many we got left here? We got about 6 left before we crack the next. This set was good for standard, but not much else, in my opinion. Yeah, I've heard that. I've kind of heard that it was received okay for standard. I don't have too many people like friends that actually play standard consistently. I heard it was like okay, but it doesn't have a great launch. Like I know some of the game stores near me, they had a ton of those not the precons, but the what are they called? Those little boxes, pre-release. They had all those pre-releases, and like they just had a bunch for them. They ended up having to resell online for not quite a loss, but like it just didn't bring anybody in the store. It didn't get anybody excited. So, Subway Train, Merciless Enforcers, Wild Pack Squad, Whoosh, Angry Rabble, Craven's Cats, Vibrant Cityscape, a Spider-Man No More. We've seen that one. Terrific Team Up, Silver Sable. We've seen that. Scarlet Spider, Kane. Ooh. This one is cool. This is Miles Morales. I grabbed this one out of a random pack a long time ago. But Spider-Man, but he is a cool card and worth a couple bucks. So we're going to set him aside. I know that one's worth a couple bucks. And then we have a foil Craven's Cats. Nothing to call home about. Let's see if I've missed any cool comments here. All right. Is anybody going to PAX? I know I asked that previously, but we probably cycled out some more people. I'm going to PAX this week. I'm very excited. Can't wait to see what mischief I can get into. We got Spider-Man, Web Slinger. We got Whoosh, Stegron the Dinosaur Man, Kapow, Venom Unleashed, News Helicopter, Bagel and Schmear, Mob Lookout. We have Scorpion, Seething Striker, not worth much. We got Heroes Hangout, not worth much. We got Wisecrack, not much. Ooh, this is a new one. We got Arana, Heart of the Spider. I've not seen this one yet. That could be a cool one. We're going to set that aside. We're going to actually set that aside. It could be something. And then we have another cool one I saw. Multiversal Passage. Actually, last time I pulled the full art version of this. And I got to say, for just general Magic play, I think this one might be a better art of it. As this land enters, choose a basic land type. Then you may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. This land is the chosen type. So it's kind of cool. Set that aside. I know that's worth a few bucks. And I don't think anything else here is worth much. All right, we're cracking through. We got like 4 packs left. And then a couple more packs. How's everybody doing? Is everybody having a good Monday? All right. We've only got a couple packs left. I'm going to have a big mess to clean up with all this pack stuff that can't be recycled, which kind of stinks. All right, we got a Web Up, Mysterio's Phantasm, Angry Rabble, Craven's Cats, Swarm of Bees, Pumpkin Bombardment, Spiderbot, Spider-Man Heroic, Spider's Man Heroic Horde, Flash Thompson. I'm just going to cycle through the stuff we've seen a bunch so far. Raging Goblinoids. We have another Multiversal Passage. This one is not this one is not foil though. So that's, I mean, that's not bad. Like, this is a good, decent card. Got multiples of that. I'll take it all day. Ooh, this one's good. Behold the Sinister Six. It's a sorcery full art card. I like that. I don't know if you can quite make it out there. Sorcery, return up to 6 target creature cards from different with different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. This one is a pretty solid card. I don't know if it's worth anything, but it is fun, is cool. And then we have a Heroes Hangout, which is a foil, and then a Suburban Sanctuary. All right, we're down to, after this one, it's just 3. Yeah, it's 3. And one thing I'll say, these open easy. I've gotten some of these recently that don't open so easy. I think I found like an Innistrad pack somewhere, and it just did not open easy. Names from your graveyard is great for Commander, guaranteed all different names. Yes. It is really good. And also, like, that it's almost effectively a tutor. Like, if you run a deck that mills a ton, or his whole shtick is basically putting stuff in your graveyard, that's an amazing tutor. Like, that's an instant, like, I could, like, because does it go, is it hand? And read graveyard to the battlefield. So that is, what's that mana? 7 mana. So 6 colorless, 1 black. Like, if you're, depending on, like, that means you probably pop it out like turn 6, 7, 8, depending on what kind of stuff you've got going on. That's really good. That's a great tutor. Daily Bugle Reporter, Passenger Ferry, Electros, Bolt, Spider, Rex, Common, Crook, Fire and Cityscape, Eerie Gravestone, School Days. Pictures of Spider-Man. We have a Costume Closet. I've gotten Costume Closet like 4 times so far. This is maybe the 5th. Doc Ock's Tentacles. Cheering Crowd. Cheering Crowd is interesting. I don't know why that this cannot be the rare. Is it the rare? That makes no sense. At the beginning of each player's first main phase, that player may put a 1/1 counter on this creature. If they do, they add a colorless mana for each counter on it. This is a weird card because it's basically a mana sink for everyone at the table. Just extremely strange card. I don't think it's particularly rare. Just because I think it's not the greatest strategy card, just because you can, yeah, like, you can put the 1/1 counter on it, get a bunch of mana, and then kill it. There's nothing, unless you make it indestructible or something like that. It just, and then but the thing is, like, once you make it indestructible, nobody's gonna tap it for mana. So I don't know. It just seems like a card that's like has an interesting concept. Yo, I love your content. Keep up the awesome work, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Trying. This is just a simple tax evasion at this point. Just the more of these I crack, the more I can count them off of my taxes. Mysterious Phantasm, Angry Rabble, Craven's Cat, Swarm of Bees, Spider-Man Web Slinger, Lurking Lizards, Venomized Cat, Vibrant Cityscape. Pirate Cityscape has been popping up so many times. Flying Octobot, Spider Slayer, Hatred Hone, which we have seen. But it's still a cool looking card. Oh, sorry, that didn't really show up. Spider-Man. We're going to set that aside. We have a Craven Proud Predator, which we had a Craven before, but I don't know if that is this is the same Craven. There's a couple of different name cards. We have a Bioorganic Carapace, excuse me. Not exceptionally rare or worthwhile, but is cool. Then we have a foil Craven's Last Hunt, a full land, and a token. We're down to 2 of the regulars before we crack open this other one, which is going to have some more regulars. And then we're going to finally have that sweet collector booster. Returning cards. I've been playing D&D since I was 5, and your D&D content is hilarious, and I read to a lot. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. I'm glad. Excuse me. Pietu, Paitu, Says hello. Hello, how are you? We got a common crook, daily bugle reporter, passenger fairy. For those of you that are just coming in, I'm ripping. It's an experiment. I bought a play booster pack. All the things just fell on the floor. Not the cards, but the pack scraps. This was $99 at Micro Center. Extremely cheap. I'm seeing if it is possible to get a return on investment on this by, if you buy one, can you make some money on it? That's the experiment. And it's not just because I want to rip a bunch of packs. I'd feel good about it and maybe do a little bit of a tax write-off because I'm making content with it. This is what this is about. All right, we got a shock. You know what? I'm gonna start putting some of these packs in this box so they don't get eaten by my dog. So yeah, we've ripped a lot so far. And I have another box. I don't think I'm gonna have the steam to rip another box this evening after we ripped everything. We got a shock. We got a Spider-Man Brooklyn Visionary, Inner Demon Gangsters. This is going to be probably 7th or 8th time for this. There was 2 of these in a single pack not too long ago. It's the problem with this set. So many repeats. We got another Spider Manifestation. Very common card popping up. We do get another Morbius. It's Morbin time. Morbin time. So we're going to put that aside. We got a Flying Octobot. First time I've seen this one, so that's pretty cool. Ooh, we have a spider piloted by Penny. This is the full art card. It's very cute. It's very good. Set that aside. That's worth at least $1 or $2. We have Dr. Octopus Master Planner. I believe he might be worth a few monies. I don't know. Other villains you control. Other villains you control get +2/+2. Your maximum hand size is 8, which is kind of funny. At the beginning of your end step, if you have fewer than 8 cards, draw cards equal to the difference. That's a good one. Honestly, this might be a decent commander. If you're doing a villain deck, this would be a great commander for a villain deck. I'm just getting into Magic the Gathering, and I've had so much fun learning. It's a little bit like reading the tax code. Then I got a wall crawl foil. It's a little bit like learning the tax code in that it is a little overly complicated, but I've been having a lot of fun mucking around in the bits of it. That honestly, I like this is a better box. I'm just going to say outright. I already have pulled the Soul Stone. For those of you joining, the Soul Stone has been pulled in this box, so this is officially a better box than the one I pulled previously. It was also a cheaper box. We have Venom's Hunger, City Pigeon, Beetle Legacy Criminal, Electro Bolt, Spider Rex, Daring Dino, Spectacular Tactics. All of these we have seen before. Actually, we have not seen Electro's Bolt, which I think the art is cool for that. So we're going to show. We're going to show that. It's cool art. We appreciate cool art. Spectacular Tactics, Mechanical Mobster, Scout the City. Seen that one. Living Brain. We've seen that one. Secret Identity. I believe Secret Identity is a bit rare on the rare side. I could be wrong about that. I'm going to set that aside. Prowler, Clawed Thief. Not a bad card. Not a bad card. I think we may have seen that one. I won't lie. We'll set aside. I have like 3 stacks now of like what I believe to be worth money and not worth money. Ooh, we have a Scarlet Spider Ben Riley, which is pretty cool. Not hating that. Not hating that at all. Web Slinging. You can cast the spell for a red and a green if you return a tapped creature you control to its owner's hand, which is kind of good. Trample, Sensational Save. If Scarlet Spider was cast using Web Slinging, he enters with X +1/+1 counters on him, where X is the mana value of the returned creature. That's kind of good. And then we have a Spider Bite foil, which could be good. Could be worth some monies. We'll look into that. We'll look into that. And then just a mountain, and a robot token, and that's it. That's all. That's all the packs of the box. Incredible. I mean, honestly, Soulstone itself, that's an incredible pull. So what I'm going to do, because I'm going to keep these separate, we're going to open this, and this is also going to be kept separate. So I'm going to, I'm just going to make separate stacks here. of all the cool cards I have. I'm going to do the rundown of like the price differential. I'm probably going to make a video with it. Let's see here. I got some comments here. Kind of fun. The first match at Commander I ever played, it was the Finland's biggest tabletop con. Oh yeah, that's nice. I had no idea what I was doing. I never know what I'm doing when I'm playing Commander. I'm just pulling cards and hoping for the best. All right, we're gonna rip this. This is sealed. You can hear the dice in it. So this is gonna have 9 booster play boosters and then 1 collector booster. We're gonna probably do the collector booster last. We're gonna steam through. I'm gonna open this from the bottom. All in one. All right. And then who knows? Like the collector booster could have something huge in it. It could be like truly a game changer. Oh, this is like this is what you're going for. You're looking for the soul stone. All right, all comes in the box. So we're going to kind of keep these things separate. Oh, but that's neat. The dice is basically like a little soul stone. It's supposed to like be soul stone-esque. Ooh, this thing got messed up. This is like almost like a misprint type deal. I wonder if this was opened, or maybe it's got handled very roughly, or maybe it was the dice. The dice rolling around in here is probably supposed to have like something to keep it from going crazy. Ooh. Yeah, this is supposed to keeps the deck box from like going all the way to the top. Oh, dang, it's broke. Yeah, it definitely looks like the dice escaped and just beat the shit out of everything inside of here. So we do have collector booster. I'm going to say that for last. And then it comes with lands. These are the lands. And then it might have another card. It has Gwenum, it looks like, which I believe is also kind of a good card. So we're going to rip. Those are some tokens. We're going to rip them and keep them in this deck box just because it'll make it easier to sort through things. Ooh. I definitely want to know like the price points. I don't want to get these confused. All right, we're ripping. These also may have gotten their butts kicked by that dice a little bit. So we'll see if they've got any gnarly edges. These open pretty good. Got a taxi driver, subway train, merciless enforcer, wild pack squad, whoosh, hot dog cart, lurking lizards, venomized cat, hobgoblin, mantle marauder, web shooters, spots portal, shadow of the goblin, city pigeon, sinister hideout. Nothing too good. I'm gonna just put them in the box like that. That was pretty much a dud all the way through. Nothing good in that one. As far as I know. So this one was actually $60. So for this collector one, like the gift set, it was $60. It was like $59.99, which is still cheap for this because it does have a collector booster. The collector booster on its own, I think, you can't find those for less than like $37. So like 59, I think it's $59.99 or $49.99, which is like pretty good. So we got a common crook, selfless police captain, unstable experiment, romantic rendezvous, professional wrestler, Spider-Man No More, Eerie Gravestone, Vibrant Cityscape, Heroes Hangout, Robotics Mastery, Spider Noir. It's not the full art one, but it's not a bad one. Set that aside. Then we have Sandman, Shifting Scoundrel. That one might be something. And then Doc Ock's Henchman and Ominous Asylum. That one's not like great. I feel like maybe this box, unless there's a really good pull in that collector booster, I think it's probably going to be a bit of a dud. It's a dud so far. Just won a game on Arena using my colorless deck. Nice. Have I missed any comments anywhere else? All right, let's scroll through. We're close. Guy in the Chair, Venom's Hunger, Starling Ally, Amazing Acrobatics, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man Infestation. See, that's so much. Spider-Man No More, Eerie Gravestone, Shriek Troublemaker, Ezekiel Sims, Spider-Man India, Maximum Carnage, Spot Living Portal, Foil. That one is probably worth a few bucks. This one is when Spot enters, exile up to 1 target non-land permanent and up to 1 target non-land permanent card from the graveyard. When Spot dies, put him on the bottom of his owner's library. If you do, return the exile cards to the owner's hands. So that one's pretty good. we're going to set aside some of the ones I feel like might be worth a bit more money, just so I can keep them out of the mix. It requires less sorting. All right. There's only 9 regular packs in here, so it should be pretty quick. We're going to try and steamroll unless we come across something really cool. City Pigeon, Beetle, Electrobolt, Spider-Rex. I've seen this opener on a pack. It's probably like the 3rd or 4th time now. Common Crook, Spider-Bot, Spectacular Tactics, all of these. Another Spider manifestation. We have a Green Goblin Revenant, which is not nothing. And then we have a Spider-Girl Legacy here, which we've seen before. A Daily Bugle Building, a Mr. Negative. This was also one that I was looking for. I may have grabbed this last time. Mr. Negative is a cool, like maybe a potentially great commander. So it's got Vigilance and Lifelink. Dark Force Inversion. When Mr. Negative enters, you may exchange life totals with target opponent. If you lost life this way, draw that many cards. This is a true blue, like, gambler card. Kind of a sick. And then we have a foil Spider Bite, which this is the second foil of Spider Bite we've grabbed so far, which is strange. And then, yeah, we just have a foil forest card, full art, which is not nothing either. The real question is, did you get out ahead, theoretically? I think for the $99 Play Booster box, I think that is almost assured, because I pulled a Soulstone. So that's $50 right there. It is entirely possible I will not get up to the rest of it. It is very possible. But I think theoretically on that box, I did. This box, I think it's really going to come down to that collector booster. Angry Rabble, Craven's Cats, Swarm of Being of Bees, Thwip, Amazing Acrobatics, News Helicopter, Venomized Cat, Raging Goblinoid, Sun Spider, Nimble Weber. We've seen all these before, so I'm not going to show them. Spots Portal, Pictures of Spider-Man, Hydro-Man, Fluid Felon. I think we may have seen him early on. We're going to set him aside. Could be worth something. And then we have a Spider Islanders foil. Pack was basically a dud. Most of these have been relatively unsexy. Right, they're also a little harder to open. There we go. It's almost like these are different packs. Like, they just have a different almost feel to them. It's Risky Research, Daily Bugle Reporters, Passenger Ferry, Electros Bolt, Spider Rex, Common Crook, Mob Lookout, Masked Meower, Hobgoblin, Mantled Marauder. I don't know if we've seen him before. Oh, then we got another Madame Web Clairvoyant. So that one could be worth something. Web Shooters, Silk, the Web Weaver. This one might be worth $1 or $2, maybe less. Honestly, it could be 20 cents with the set. We have a foil Morbius. This is the 3rd or 4th Morbius we've pulled. Then we have a Planes and a Robot. That one was halfway decent. We've got 3 more packs. Let me crack this. I do think I'm going to get out ahead. I think just barely. Wild Pack Squad, Unstable Experiment, Taxi Driver, Subway Train, Merciless Enforcer, Spider-Man No More, Spider Islanders, Eerie Gravestone, Living Brain, Alien Symbiosis, Spider Piloted by Penny, Urban Retreat, which Urban Retreat it's a tricolor. That one could, I don't know the exact amount of money that was worth, but it could be worth something. And then I got another Spider Islanders foil, which is a buzzkill. Again, this one has not been hitting. I think if you're looking for value this could just be the heart of the cards giving me a middle finger, but I guess the value of this box is the collector booster. Subway Train, Merciless Enforcers, Wild Pack Squad, Whoosh, Angry Rabble, News Helicopter, Bagel and Schmear, Tumblestone Career Criminal. This is the 3rd or 4th time we've seen that. Spider-Girl Legacy Hero. We got Scarlet Spider Kane. Arachne Psionic Weaver is kind of a good one. I think it's worth $1 or $2. We need to recoup some value. We have Friendly Neighborhood. It's an enchant land. When aura enters, create 3 1/1 green and white human citizen creature tokens. Enchant land has a 1 tap, target creature gets 1/1 until end of turn. That's not terrible. That might be worth something. And then we have a foil Starling Aerial Ally. Horrible. So that, I'm not sure. We got 1 more pack, and then we're going to do the collector. So if this pack is not stellar, it's not looking good. All right. We've got Venom Hunger, Starling Aerial Ally, Amazing Acrobatics, Spider Gwen Free Spirit, Doc Ock Sinister Scientist, Pumpkin Bombardment, Spectacular Tactics, Secret Identity, Spider-Man UK, Spider-Mobile, Morloon, Devourer of Spiders. That could be worth like $1. We do have the Spectacular Spider-Man, but it is not a rare variant. So this is like a couple of dollars. If he had a different suit on or some extra arms, he could be worth something. Then we have a foil Stegron. It's not looking good for the bonus box. I'm going to be honest. The gift box, I don't think the value is going to be here for it. So this is where it comes down to. We're going to open up this collector booster. This may be my second booster, first time doing it on camera. So I don't know what order they're going to be in. I assume it's going to be similar to the order that I've already been doing. We have some chances to make it big here. Also, like that's the thing about these collector boosters. This is like true blue gambling. This collectively, this goes for like almost $40. This could be worth less than $1 total, or it could be worth $10,000. That it's a scratch off. We're gonna scratch it. We're gonna scratch it. If I can get it open. All right. I'm just trying not to manhandle it because there is something extremely valuable in here. The glue on it is substantial. All right, so if you know what a collector booster is, there's a higher chance of getting cool cards and like alternate art cards, and also all of them are foiled. So we've got a foil Shock, we've got a foil Risky Research, not looking great, a foil Mob Lookout, foil Beetle, Legacy Criminal, a foil Savage Mansion. The last like 4 or 5 cards are where the money is at. We've got a foil Wisecrack. We've got a foil Spots Portal. Pictures of Spider-Man foil. Shriek Troublemaker. We've got a Forest. All right, these are the money cards. So I can't present them to everywhere at once. So we've got it's just a land. That looks like Sandman Shifting Scoundrel. Nothing crazy. We have a Lady Octopus Inspired Hunter Borderless. It's not a foil, which makes me sad, but it could be worth something. That looks like a Miles Morales Borderless. This could be worth a little bit of money. Not like a ton. This is not going to pay off the mortgage. That is a good one, though. That is... Oh, no. This is Savage Beating. I thought it was a Venom. Oh, man. But yeah, it's full art. I don't know if there's anything to this. Savage Beating. This is the last real card. Oh, no, wait. No. Yeah. Oof. Craven the Hunter. Not Soulstone would have been the thing that paid off the mortgage, but we're going to look at the collective value of this collector booster, see if it is, because this is where the money is going to come from, is this collector booster. And I'm just not thinking it's going to pay. All right, so did we make it out? Did I miss any comments while I was doing this? What am I doing? I'm just ripping packs. Why does some of the new Unearthed Arcana content feel AI-generated? I have not looked at the Unearthed Arcana. Something just went deep. If it feels AI-generated, like it's a non-zero chance it might be AI-generated. Like I haven't seen it, so I'm not going to say anything. It's entirely possible. I try not to put anything past Wizards of the Coast right now, but who knows? So we're going to look at the price of some of these things in the collector booster. See if we made our money. We're going to look at this Miles Morales. It's a borderless. Yeah, just Miles Morales. $8, $8 to $9 for the Miles Morales. It's probably going to be the biggest one, I feel like. We have a Lady Octopus. Extended art. $1.63. We're about $10 right now. Sandman. I don't think he's worth much. Shifting Scoundrel. Yeah, he's worth like 28 cents. No, he's worth 50 cents. All right. So, and then this land might be worth like $1. We'll look at these last two. It's going to be Savage Beating, which I feel like is going to be less than $1, if I'm being honest. Borderless. Oh, Savage Beating is $3.52. So we're at $15 on this collector booster. Let's look at Craven. Craven might be worth a couple of bucks. I doubt he is worth much. He's not a. I have not seen him. Craven, Hunter Extended Art. He's worth 27 cents because he's not a foil. Well, he's a foil, so he's worth like 50 cents. Yeah, this one's a complete bust. That collector booster's bust. Unfortunate, truly unfortunate. But that's the game. So, I mean, so this one was about $60. The big ticket item in there was the collector booster in and of itself. If I had just taken that would have gotten me about half. I don't believe the rest of the cards I got are going to get me there unless there is something really expensive in the mix that I don't know about, which is possible. I don't think, like, Spot Living Portal could be a big pull. So we'll see what that is. Spot Living Portal. No, he's not. For a foil, he's 25 cents. Yeah, I think if you get the Spectacular Spider-Man, if he was a different one, could be worth something. I'm gonna have to go through scan and see where the actual value lies, if it is even close. But dang, dag, that one did not make the money back. Didn't make the money back. Now the true question is, I have another one of these. I'm not going to rip another 8-pack. I don't know if I want to rip all the packs, but I maybe want to rip the collector booster because that could be fun. Should I do that? I'm going to wait for a comment to tell me yes or no. Should I just rip the collector booster out of this? Should I just go for it? Should I go for it? Tell me if I should go for it. Should I keep it sealed? Keep it safe? Should I put this somewhere as a retirement fund? It will definitely not gain that much value. Should I rip this open? And should we do one more collector pack? I'm gonna wait for a comment. If it doesn't come in a couple of minutes, I won't. Sealed and sell. Are you telling me to keep it sealed and sell? Are you telling me to be responsible? Sorry, my phone was going crazy. All right, so maybe one vote for keeping this sealed. I can also just go out and buy another one. It wasn't that crazy. They also might even get cheaper, which then I might even save even more money on my previous purchase. So sealed and sell it later, probably for, I don't know, whatever money goes for the post-apocalyptic future, or should I rip it for the collector booster? Should I go for broke? There could be $10,000 in here. I'll give y'all a minute. Because, yeah, what is the Soul Stone going for right now? Oh, for sure, disappointment, but also, so if you can do the Soul Stone, if you can get, if you do the Borderless, there's a Borderless and a Cosmic Foil. The Cosmic Foil, well, that can't be right. It lists the Cosmic Foil as $51,000 on TCG Player. I cannot believe that. That's what it's listed for. I doubt it's selling for that. The last one was for $32,000 though. So it's not nothing. And then, but so I did pull a Soul Stone. So we'll see. Ooh. So that Stone. The Soul Stone is $50. And it's been lowering in value. It might go back up depending on how things go, as other synergies are created. But so that's a $50 card that I have. From not from this one, but from the other one. There is a borderless, I believe, that goes for over 1,000. But yeah, so Gork Neo says I should seal and sell. Does anybody else have a competing opinion? Should I rip open a box for that sweet, sweet collector booster and go for broke? Some of these can be worth something. Yeah, like I might barely eke out most of the value of. I mean, if this, that's the thing though. Buying this for, because I think the expectation, like the Final Fantasy gift bundles or whatever, go for like $140, $150. And I think the pull rates are very different. You have a higher chance of getting some decent cards that people want. All right, so I have one rip, one keep and sell. So it's deadlock tied. I'm writing a campaign. How do I make time loop work? Dude, that's the problem. Time loops are so hard. Time loop, if you're trying to do like, I think it was balance, had that time loop. You basically just have to like refresh every time. And really you're hoping for just the narrative to hopefully carry you through, because it most likely will not. It's really hard to do time loops, especially like unless you specifically write them to be a time loop with like fixed characters that do not change the things that they do. Rip, I just want to be the responsible voice. Imagine if he actually got it. I won't, but it could. And I don't mind ripping him. Like this is all kind of an experiment for me, generally speaking. Like I am curious if it, like at these cut rate prices that can't be making this place money. Micro Center is selling these at a loss for sure, but they're probably trying to make room for other product in their back rooms. Like even at this highly cut rate, is this stuff worth it? And I am finding that at least unless you pull a Soulstone, probably not. But yeah, time loops are really, really hard. You just have to do the one where it like resets every time, and then just allow them to explore, and basically whatever they put on their person, they keep. Keep it as loosey goosey. You do not want a finely tuned time loop, because the more cogs in the machine of your time loop, the more they are going to get destroyed by your players, and the more it's going to be hard. Like the harder it is going to be explain everything. Keep it very loose. Keep it very narrative driven. Yeah, that'd be my advice. So I've got one to rip this, one to keep it safe. Honestly, you might also make the value back, because there are the foil and regular ones in here. You might make some money back on that. Because like the lands are worth something probably. Let's see. Gwenum Remorseless. Gwenum. There's just a single card here. Lucy Woosey and Timey Wimey. Understood. Thanks you. Yeah. You know what? Why shouldn't I have it? I was gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it. Wouldn't it be so crazy? It didn't clean rip. Oh no, that's a bad sign. And if I really want to keep one of these for posterity, I'll just go get another one. Like, it's not like they don't have a bajillion of them at that store. Let's see if this one got messed up. No, the dice didn't seem like it screwed up everything in here. All right, we got that. I'm not going to rip all these other packs. We're just going to do the collector booster. We're going to go for broke. Why shouldn't I keep it? Why shouldn't I have it? We're going to go for it. Because there's also a chance, like if I see that the price dips down again, I'm going to go back there to get. So for those of you that don't know, Micro Center has a thing where if within a month of you buying it, the price goes down, you can come back in and they'll refund you the difference. So if these things go back down, because they're trying to get rid of these, they're definitely going to try and get rid of these more. So like I bought these for like 50 or 60. If they go down even further, which basically just the price of the collector booster, if I wanted to get online, I'm going to go back in, get my money back, and maybe buy a couple more. So we're going to rip it. Chances are slim. But you know what? Why not? Why shouldn't I keep it? Got a venomized cat. What is that? That is acrobatics. Amazing acrobatics. All these are just going to be commons. That one. That is a news helicopter. Nothing wild about that. We got a spider Gwen. I'm trying to see it so both cameras can see, which is hard. What is that? That is a swarm being a bees. Nothing so far. Nothing so far. What is that? We got a Spider Girl Legacy Hero. That might be worth something. That's like probably $1. We have Flying Octobot. Not impressed so far. Who's that? Wall Crawl. Again, nothing good here. That is the Raging Goblinoids. Again, nothing to call home about. I keep on like missing the cameras trying to aim for both. Got to land. This is where the really cool ones start. All right. Hide on the ceiling. It's nothing to call home about. Keep calm. Ooh, who's that? We got a Mary Jane Watson, full art. We've got an Arachne Psionic Weavers. Arachne is worth something, and this full borderless might put it over the top here. That's a cool art card. It's probably worth nothing. That's the thing with this set. That is Mind Break Trap. That is just incredibly cool art. That is probably worth next to nothing, and sucks that it's like that. And then we've got a Norman Osborn full art. I think Norman Osborn is worth a little bit of money. I don't think he's like a groundbreaking, like you're gonna run to the bank with it, but he's worth a little bit. And then that's the token. So we're gonna see what Norman Osborn here goes for. I doubt he's gonna go for a lot. I know that the regular one goes for a couple bucks. $10. $10. But what if we had ripped a Soul Stone? Wouldn't it have been so cool? We're going to look up a couple of these other ones. Wouldn't that just been so cool? I'm going to do Hide on the Ceiling. I don't think Hide on the Ceiling is anything to call home about. Yeah, it's like less than $1. I'm going to look up Mary Jane Watson. Borderless. 52 cents for a borderless art card. 52 cents. Max, it was only going for $1. That's wild. Signer Weaver, extended art. Ooh, Arachne go. Oh, it was going for an amount. It is not going. It's only 48 cents. Good God. I thought Arachne was going for a little bit more. I guess I was wrong. Oof. The funny thing is that, oh, maybe I was looking at the it's the pre-release. It goes for like $1.47. Dang. Not worth. Call the cops because I just got robbed. All right, we're gonna keep these separate. The Norman Osborn is cool, but it is only $10. Let me see comments. Just got the adventure module Out of the Abyss. I love Out of the Abyss. It was one of the first modules I ran for myself with some friends. Incredibly fun module. It's also kind of a pain in the ass to run. So my apologies on that. It's just depending on how you want to run it, the setup is basically everybody's been captured by Drow. And you're basically set upon to do a huge hex crawl underground, effectively. adventuring to go from place to place trying to find a way out. And the thing is that depending on how you start the adventure, they will either have 0 NPCs traveling with them or upwards of 10. So that one is really tough to balance because there's always these NPCs around. How do you make them feel useful? How do you keep them like going? So it's fun. It's a fun problem, but it is a problem all the same. Why should I keep it? Yeah. Gork Neo. Love your TikToks and shorts. Please keep cross posting your stuff. Sorry you've had such bad time. Where's the Coast is pumping cards fast? That is true. Honestly, I didn't have a bad time. I think this has been fine. Yeah, I think this is a good experiment because I have been told that collector boosters are the realest of the rip. They are like all of these things are scratch offs to a certain point, but collector boosters specifically, it's like the price differential is wild because a pack is like maybe $5-6, $7, $8, $9 if you get like older ones. But you can find something in there that's interesting, and there's still a chance that you can find something worth a lot of money. For these collector boosters, like the chance is there still, and it's a little bit higher, like fractionally higher, but the cost is 10 times. You're not getting 10 times the chance. I guess it is the only way to get like the true blue soul stone, like the galaxy foil. But yeah, it doesn't like, I get it, but yeah. All right. We're just gonna chill. What time is it? It's almost 9:30. I'm gonna go till 10 and I'm just gonna crack the rest of these packs because why not? And then I'll have a lot of data to crunch tomorrow on like cost stuff. So Doc Ock, Taxi Driver, Subway Train, Merciless Enforcers, Web Up, Mysterious Phantoms, Carvard Sword, blah, 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 Vibrant, Shriek Troublemaker, Spider Machine, Silk Web Weaver, Venomized Cat. No, this one's not anything to call home about. We're just going to like speed run these. I'm just going to chit chat. How's everybody doing? Everybody got an exciting week planned? I've said it a couple of times now, but anybody going to PAX Unplugged? I'm going to be at PAX. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to be after 7. If you see me stumbling around, no, you didn't. Because I'm going to go to that Marriott bar and I'm going to get loaded with my best friends in the world. Shock, Spider-Man, Brooklyn Visionary, Inner Demons Gangsters, Inner Demon. Getting multiple Inner Demon Gangsters multiple times is whack. Whack, 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 whack. Selfless Police Captain, Mechanical Mobster, Oscorp Research Team, Hobgoblin, Mantle Marauder, Web Shooters, Robotics Mastery, Agent Venom, Spider Punk, Alt Art. Hello. That one's a good one. Don't hate that. Angry Rabble, Swamp Treasure. I don't think that's not gonna make a difference for this probably, but we'll look up Spider Punk. Borderless. What is that? This is 210. It's $5. Like that'd make or break a pack, not necessarily this full set. What's your third favorite adventure module? Ooh, third favorite? Third favorite adventure module. Number 1 would probably be Tome of Annihilation. 2 would be Out of the Abyss because I have like great memories of running those campaigns for like multiples of years. Like they mean a lot to me. Third is a tough spot. I'm gonna be honest with you. Probably Dragon Heist. I really like not so much that I think that Dragon Heist is a well-crafted adventure. I think it has a lot of problems, but the idea of it is amazing. The idea of a city adventure where you can do some really cool stuff and your characters can like basically make a name for themselves in a really cool place. Love that. And that's mostly like that's why I love it. I came up and this was a failed adventure too. Like we never really got past it. I'm just going to go through these comments. I'm not going to say anything, but like we went through it and I thought it was like, I had a really cool concept, really excited for it. It just didn't happen just because timing and everything. So it's a bit of a buzzkill. But I came up with a really cool concept for that was based on like that module, basically like expanding upon it in a way that I thought was really fun, making it an actual heist, because Dragon Heist is a misnomer because there is no heist. So I was really excited for that, and I had a lot of plans and ideas, and it just didn't go anywhere, which made me really sad. But it is kind of the way that things go in Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, that's why it's my third favorite. Like, there is a part of me that deeply wishes to run that campaign that I wrote. Because I looked into a lot of stuff to make the concept work, because like heists are difficult in Dungeons and Dragons just because of the format. Something like Blades in the Dark is much more attuned to the heist format, because you can do things like flashbacks, and you can do things like a little more narrative driven in that way. So it just works better for heists, and the players are driving things almost as much as the person running the story. So it makes it work. Nothing good so far. If I come across anything really cool, I'm going to show y'all, but so far it is not. Got another anti-venom. That's cool though. Anti-venom, 2 anti-venoms is fun. Second anti-venom, I'll take it. I guess it's the one grace of having a small you write any of your own homebrew stuff. So technically speaking, I do write modules, just at an extremely slow rate, and not necessarily for 5e. I tried to write a 5e module, and I had like most of it planned out, and it's a pretty solid module. I've play tested a bunch. It's just getting it into the format of D&D, like the 5e style guide. It just breaks my brain, and I hate the way it looks, and I can't get it right. So I just kind of gave up on it. It still needs some polishing. I still use it. I still break it out occasionally, but I've done that. I have some published adventures for Into the Odd, which is a simpler tabletop RPG that I like the format. I've some stuff from Merkborg and things like that. So I officially homebrew things. I also, what I tend to do for Dungeons and Dragons, I buy like an official adventure book, and then I just homebrew the crap out of it. I fill it to the brim. It's a skeleton that I work off of, and we go crazy. Tomb of Out of the Abyss, we were on like year 4 before it ended. Hey, Latinos, what's up? Latinos get spooky shit. And I don't know if that means they're here or they're just, I can invite them to the live, but I don't know. My boy Jonathan. So yeah, what I do is I tend to get like an official adventure, and then I just like homebrew around it and get wild with it. I really like to do that. It gives me something to bounce back off, like just a really relatively good narrative like flow. And then, so for like Out of the Abyss, we ran for 4 years before it exploded, because some people broke up inside the group. Got messy. I didn't break up with anybody, but just some of the players. And then for Tomb of Annihilation, my friends and I, we played that from beginning to end, like 5 years. And that's because I just let them go wild with it. It was a ton of fun. And it was really cool. And I think it was really memorable for them. They actually they contacted an artist and made some art for it. And it's incredible art that I really want to use for something. Ooh, this is a dud one. I don't think there's anything worthwhile in there. And then I'll probably have to do another stream, because I still have another one of these boxes. There's more science to be done. There's more science to be done on these. Ooh. This one's cool. I am sure it's worth nothing. It's full art. Radioactive spider. And it's just a shame with this set. Like, there's only a handful of cards that carry like great value. And basically you have to pull a soul stone at this point, if you want to make some money on these. Which isn't necessarily all why I'm doing this, but have you played Mythic Bastion Land? I have not. I think I received Mythic Bastion Land. I should have got it. It should be around here. I gotta find it. It's on a bookshelf probably at this point. I do need to double check I've received it. Double check. But no, I have not played Mythic Bastionland, but I love Into the Odd. I know that that's the one kind of like before Into the Odd. There's also what is it, Electric Bastionland, right? Something like that. That's like post Into the Odd, which is also supposed to be really fun. I have that book for sure. I do need to check if I have Mythic Bastionland. I'm pretty sure I have it. Path to Exile, full art card. That one's cool. I got some full art so far. I don't think this is worth anything though. Oscorp Industries Land. That one I've not seen so far. That could be something. Land enters tapped. When this land enters from a graveyard, you lose 2 life. Tap to add a blue, black, and red mayhem. That one's pretty cool. And then we have a Carnage, Crimson Chaos, which I also believe it might be worth a little bit of money. But so far, no big, super cool whammies in this. Anti-Venom has some good mono white themes. There's quite a bit of good protection and diversion of damage in white that play hard into mechanics. Similar cards too. I like Pariah with them. Nice. So yeah, same guy who made Into the Odd. Yeah. I have not met the person that makes Into the Odd, but I have met the person that created Karn, which is kind of like the free version of Into the Odd that's got some relatively big changes to it, but the base system is the same. I really like. I'm blanking on the name. Shoot. Yohai, I believe. Yohai is the name. Super cool dude. Have you ran Shadow Dark? I've ran Shadow Dark once. And it's a cool game to run. I really like playing in it too. It's a really great narrative based system. It's extremely different from Dungeons and Dragons, so it takes some getting used to, but in like a really good way. If you find yourself that you're like really into role play and you're really into not so hard rules, but like kind of letting your players go a little wild and then like hitting them hard back and they hit you hard back, you would love it. It gives such great freedom and it's a great framework to create an amazingly dark and like cool story. All right. Anything cool? We got a Spider Punk friendly neighborhood. Oh, this is dud. All these duds. No paying off the mortgage this time around. Dang. We could have been rich and famous. What is your favorite commander to play? I've been playing the World Shaper one, which has Hearth's Hole, which is it's a ship. Actually, it's a station that you have to station before it actually turns into a creature. I like that one so much. I love the sacrifice mechanic that is built into that deck for sacrificing lands. Every time you sacrifice a land, you do 2 damage to everybody else at the table. It is so much fun just because I'm sure there's like better like decks for it, but it's fun in the fact that depending on how you set it up and what cards you draw, you're getting a lot of benefits from putting lands from putting lands on the board, and you're getting a lot of benefit of getting them off the board, and then you're pulling lands from your graveyard. And then I think I was playing with my brother, and I hit him with I was able to sacrifice all of my lands basically. And he was out. So it was like, oh, here's 40 damage right off the dome. RUN-MTG. We're thinking about it. If I had the bandwidth and the brain juice, I would maybe make a second account. But I tried making a second account for just spam content. I kept it up for like 2 days. But yeah, that's my favorite commander right now. I really like that. I really also really like Cloud. Cloud is a fun commander. That's what he got me into Commander. So I really enjoy Cloud. I think he's super fun, super fresh. I think these cards go to this one. I think. But yeah, that's my stuff right now. For those of you that just joined, we ripped a bunch of packs. We ripped a whole not a collector booster box. I don't have that. I have a money. Ripped a whole play booster box. I think we made our money back on that because we pulled a Soul Stone. Then we pulled 2 of these Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man gift bundle doodads. probably did not make our money back on that. For those of you that don't know, Micro Center has these on a huge discount. You can get these boxes for 60. You can get the play booster boxes for less than $100. So it's an experiment. We're gonna see if we can make our money back. I use one for cars, then my D&D, and yeah. I've done second accounts, and then it also, I feel like TikTok punishes you. It feels like you're spamming or something like that. Do you have a D&D setting that you love? Yeah. Eberron, baby. Keith Baker, baby. That's what's up. I really like, I think if I had to name number one, it'd be Eberron. I think Planescape is a great setting. I think it was done a great injustice in 5e, as well as Spelljammer. I think those are really fun, really interesting. You can do super interesting story things that normally just would not make sense. You can do those in Eberron, you can do those in Planescape, you can do those in Spelljammer. I think Eberron has had a better time getting official content. Like their source book is incredible. It's like one of the biggest source books that they've made. It's like 312 pages. Spelljammer's source book is 60 pages, and half of it is wasted on full page art. So you basically have no information about the setting. You have no real information on how anything works or how travel works. It's all hand waved. And I think they did a great injustice to Spelljammer, and then a great injustice to Planescape, because they did the same thing they did to Spelljammer to Planescape. Those settings require so much information, just like knowing how planes work, knowing how other settings are created, all those things. Like you need all that like information at your fingertips when your players decide they want to go to a different setting, because because of Spelljammer you can go to Eberron, you could go to the Forgotten Realms, you could go to Dragonlance stuff, you could go to all those places, and there's also just an overarching setting of space. You can do an incredible amount of adventuring in, and they just didn't give you any information for it. They're like, hey, here's a thing that you can do. Here's a concept. Google it, because we did all of it for second edition. We're not going to redo it again. Same thing for Planescape, except it was third edition. I really like those settings. They're incredible. They are really weird in the best way. And I think they were abused by fifth edition. It is a shame. The content that they were given. So, and then because they didn't I don't think they did Stellar, they're not going to get any real update or in additional information, which blows. It really sucks. But yeah, those are my favorite settings. That's my little diatribe. I could talk about the mistreatment of Keith Baker and other settings as well. I think, yeah, like the fact that they didn't bring Keith Baker on and give him as much of a narrative voice as they probably should have in the books is also like a huge downfall, because he's an incredible person. He's an incredible person, and also an incredible writer. I've met him several times. Super nice, incredibly nice. Signed all my books, did all that stuff. Incredibly nice. Remembers me. Partner, amazing. So it's just a shame that his voice isn't like carried through as much as they should be in some of these books. That being said, it's 9:43. I said I was going to go to 10. I'm feeling a little eepy, and I do want to scan some of these so I can get doing some science and on the maths and numbers tomorrow. So I think I might head out. It's been a pleasure hanging with y'all. It's been a pleasure evading taxes and ripping all of these on camera for your enjoyment and mine, so I can do the tax write-off on them all. I think we had great questions, great fun. I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna scan some of these into ManaBox and see if I made a bajillion dollars. I didn't, but I hope y'all have a good one, and I will talk to y'all later. I'm gonna turn off TikTok first. YouTube, I love you more than you can know. And thanks everybody for asking questions and stuff. I appreciate y'all, and I will see y'all later. Night.